across the sky. Now that ink has dried, and I can't tell you why. Oh, Mimi, can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? Oh, Mimi, can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? And I can't tell you why.
Hello, and welcome to Moonshot Summer Theater. Every year, we perform a performance of a touching, unforgettable script that truly blends the meaning of what is script and what is reality. As we begin our performance, please silence your cell phone unless you're watching the performance on your cell phone, in which case, you do you. You know what you're about. Also, tickets to this performance are free. However, we are partnered with a wonderful charitable cause. So if you would like to donate, please know that Moonshot is matching all donations for the next few hours, but especially during the script. Without further ado, I would like to kick it off to the cast and crew as we delve into what it means to be human and what it means to be a fish. Piranha 3D. Take it away.
Piranha by Alexandra Asia and Greg, we're going to say Levasseur, based on a script by Pete Goldfinger and Josh Stolberg. Exterior, desert, day, series of shots. Volcanic rock outcrop, black and jagged. Wind whispers. A hawk cries. A Gila monster crawls up and over right past the frame. Another sand-dusted rock outcrop where two small scorpions fight over rodent bones. Prominent beside them, the fossilized imprint of a large spiral seashell. A weather-beaten road sign knocked down, half destroyed. Era dig site, number 2357, Register of National Historic Places ahead, next left. Another hawk cry echoes. Striations in rock, remnants of geologic rifts as a tumbleweed blows past. And from such serene detail, we now cut wide. Exterior, Lake Victoria, day. Breathtaking in its glimmering grandeur, placid and endless, surrounded by jagged mountain peaks with a prehistoric quality. Tiny and distant amidst the lake, a small fishing boat with the tinny echo of some honky-tonk from a transistor radio. A hand reaches into the water, grabbing a small rope connected to 6-pack bottles of beer. Ed, 60, a blue-collar local, cracks open his bud and watches a flock of birds flying in formation across the sky. His attention returns to his fishing pole and the nylon line connecting it to a cork floating peacefully in the water. Ed hums along with the honky-tonk, and suddenly the cork disappears. The line tightens and the pole bends violently. Ed abandons his beer, grabs his pole. He's got a big one.
Oh yeah, you come to Papa now.
A seasoned sportsman, Ed fights with the fish until he finally lifts a beautiful 8-pound bass into the air.
Damn, ain't you a beautiful thing?
The bass frantically resists, and in his struggle, Ed rocks the boat, knocking his beer overboard. Under the surface, the bottle splashes and sinks, descending 90 feet to the bottom, revealing what no one ever sees. A sandy floor littered with more bottles, cans, rusty metal, and other trash. The legacy of decades of tourist pollution. As the beer bottle touches the lake bed, a strange tremor causes vibrations in the water. The ground begins to move with increasing intensity until a deafening sound erupts. Crank! A geographic fault splits open. Thousands of gallons of water rush violently down into the bedrock fissure. An enormous boulder is sucked into it, followed by all of the trash and that one beer bottle. The surface of the lake, the fissure below, has created a small but angry circular whirlpool just a few feet from the boat. Ed grips the rocking boat, his fish now caught.
What in the hell?
The circular whirlpool gets bigger and bigger on the surface of the lake, and the water spins faster and faster. And before Ed's fully aware of the danger, his little boat is caught in the spinning current, inevitably bringing him closer to the dark, powerful vortex. Nothing can stop the fragile vessel from accelerating as Ed scrambles to start up the motor. He tries desperately to keep his balance, but he falls overboard. He struggles, fighting the riptide, clawing the boat's hull in a panic, but ultimately disappears into the whirlpool. And just As suddenly as it began, the energy stops. The water flattens. Only pleasant honky-tonk still plays. As a cloud of blood floats up, surrounding the lonesome boat, where the hooked bass still flaps around at line's end, just as a shredded skeletal hand rips through the surface of the lake, stretching its fingers to the sky. Underneath the water, an eyeball is floating slowly in the darkness, dragging its optical nerves. It comes closer and closer when a blurry shape bursts into frame to grab it. The title fills the frame, Piranha. Dissolve to extreme close-up on a goldfish. It swims along without a care in the world until, chomp! A small but ghastly piranha eats it down in one bite. The ugly, cold-blooded fish swims on in its aquarium while the light in the tank switches off. Interior, the Lake Victoria Pet Emporium. As a slightly awkward teenager, Jake, 17, walks a row of aquarium tanks, clicking the lights off for each one. We got Jake. Oh,
Sorry. Nighty night, guys.
he's at work, pulling shut a large accordion screen separating the exotic fish section from the store's other aisles.
And now the good folks at the USGS are calling a 5.7 epicentered smack dab at the west end of the lake. So here's hoping the fine little afternoon shake me up helps get your beautiful weekend off to a rocky start.
Behind a counter, grandfatherly Mr. Goodman, in his 70s, is up on a stepladder, taking orders from a portly lady customer, 50s. She's got 3 ferrets poking out from her purse.
No, I've changed my mind. Not the deluxe. I'll take the chateau. My babies deserve just the best.
Goodman struggles to put on a giant play tower for cats back up on the high shelf to trade with an even larger one. Jake sees the old man start to lose his balance. He instantly races over
Mr. Goodman, be careful. That knee.
and catches the old man before he falls, helping him down with the carpeted cat tower.
Oh, look at this, my little babies. Won't this make a nice little home? We'll make s'mores and watch TV and stay snugly and safe inside just till this awful week is over. I hope you will do the same, young man.
He leaves a $20 bill, smooches her ferrets, and heads out the door. Goodman follows, turns the door sign to closed. Elsewhere in the store, Mrs. Goodman, also in her 70s, is drawing the shades.
Tanks are clean, everybody's fed, lights are out, and salt water and fresh. No, I know. I know how it is. Mom's made plans for me anyway.
Well, I hope they allow for some fun. I mean, spring break, a boy your age?
Mrs. Goodman, are you okay? This is where your line comes in.
Oh, Carl, now don't you cause trouble.
Actually, maybe you could talk to her about that.
When I was 16, I trekked clear across Baja. At 17, I was first mate on a deep-sea marlin boat.
Good God, Carl, you sell goldfish and hamsters. He's always living in the past.
I'm just telling him to have ambitions.
Well, then tell him not to forget the crawlers, the night crawlers. For Zane!
Goodman remembers, grabs a plastic bag of bait worms.
Give our best to your brother and sister. Tell them to come on by and say hi. And you go and have a great spring break now.
Have a great spring break, Jake.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
The Goodmans
Like I
keep
ever
closing
do.
up. Oh,
Oh, sorry.
no, you're good. No, you're good. The
Sorry,
Goodmans keep
I'm
closing
good.
up. Jake says that. Exterior, Lake Victoria Community Day. The bag of worms gets dropped off on the back of a Vespa scooter. With his Pixies concert t-shirt and his orange vintage helmet, it's very hard to tell if Jake is super cool or a complete nerd. But as he zips his ride away from the pet store, a car full of partying teens blasts on by.
Watch out, Sand Rat. Where you going, Sand Rat? Woohoo!
Make yourself at home.
He rides toward a banner hanging over Main Street. Welcome to Spring Break Lake Victoria! As the angle cranes up and over the unassuming small town buildings to reveal the massive expanse of the lake beyond, filled with hundreds upon hundreds of boats and partying college kids. Begin opening credits on shots of the town completely overrun. A tiny fishing community by winter. A wild college party come spring. Every motel sign reads, no vacancy. Toothless old-timers sit on their porches in lawn chairs, watching co-eds in bikinis rollerblade by. Local young kids sit sentry at lemonade stands, except their signs say, cold beer, $1. And high school's logo reads, Lake Victoria High, home of the Sand Rats. Meanwhile, Jake zigzags with his scooter down the main street in between long lines of cars with jet skis and speedboats in tow. He stops at a traffic light and notes a commotion nearby. A car is halfway on the curb, having knocked over a parking meter. A trio of unruly frat boys are to blame.
Officer, it was a mistake. Can't we work something out here?
A pretty female sheriff, Julie Forrester, mid-30s, listens with zero sympathy. She's seen this kid too many times before.
Mistake or no mistake, you destroyed public property. And from the smell of your breath, I suggest you take this ticket and get one of your friends to drive you home.
Frat boy scoffs, showing off for his pals.
I don't know, Sheriff. I was kind of hoping you might drive me home.
He flicks Julie's shirt. Her eyes instantly shoot up. Jake shakes his head, smiles. Don't mess with the sheriff.
Touching an officer's uniform is considered assault. Were you aware of that?
Hey, come on. You look pretty hot and tan.
As he reaches to a too-friendly hand out again, bam, an elbow to the stomach. An arm socket twist and over-shoulder flip. Slam! Frat boy hits the ground face first, handcuffed before he has a clue what hit him.
It's not tan. It's beige.
His buddies edge closer, but Julie's taser gun is up and ready.
You boys take another step, you'll be pissing lightning bolts into next week.
Jake smiles and drives away. Exterior, Lake Victoria community at dusk. Metal rock music blares from a pickup truck. Kids cruising. Two hot buxom college co-eds strut half naked in front of wide-eyed trailer park grandmas who shake their heads in disgust. Other kids are filling rental boats with coolers, wakeboards, and life vests. Jet skis are lowered from their trailers while college jarheads high-five each other, whistle at girls, and chug beer. Further away, a large floating stage is being set up to host the daily spring break events. And credits as Jake pulls into the marina's parking lot as he stares at the mass of partying young humanity.
So, hey, do you ever think living here, we get a really warped perception of college?
He turns to see Kelly, 17, cute local, standing nearby.
Nah, I'm sure this is pretty much like an average day in class.
Then I am so looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, can't wait. Me too.
Then he realizes he still has his helmet on. Swiftly takes it off. Kelly smiles. There's a comfortable familiarity.
So I can only assume you came down here to get on one of those boats?
Gotta pick up my sister from music lessons. It's for my mom.
Guess your mom's kind of busy these days.
How about you?
I'm waiting for my ride. Matt and his friends. We're gonna check out some music.
Matt Dupree?
What's that supposed to mean?
What's supposed to mean? I just said his name.
Remind me who you're going out with again?
I have standards. That's all I'm saying.
Look, Matt's a really good DJ. It's not his fault he doesn't smell like a pet store.
Emporium. It's a pet emporium.
What does that even mean?
It's just another word for store.
The car drives up to them, driven by Matt, 17, two buddies inside. A music scene wannabe, he is Jake's complete opposite.
Come on, Callie, jump in. We're late.
He says he's got backstage patches for the sandbar. It'll be cool, you should come.
If I wasn't basically under house arrest watching Zane and Laura, wow, the chance to watch you dirty dance with Matt Dupree, there is nothing that would make me happier.
Jeez, Jake. Too bad. We'll miss you.
Like every year.
Anyway, I gotta go. I'll see you around.
Yeah, see you round at school, I guess.
With a shrug and a smile, Kelly gets in the car.
Way to make a move, Jake.
As it peels away, one of Matt's friends yells at Jake.
Hey, Pixie, cool shirt.
From Jake's point of view, the boy throws a giant Slurpee right at Jake! 3 exclamation points. Whack! Douses his t-shirt with red sticky liquid.
Oh, thanks, Brett. I know where you live.
The car peels out as Kelly yells at Matt's friends. Jake just stands there, dripping and pissed. Watches Kelly go. Exterior Victoria Town Square continuous. Adorable little Laura, age 10, sits on a park bench clutching a trombone, almost her size. A super sexy urban boho brunette in a revealing top sits next to her. This is Danny. Do we have Danny?
Nice horn.
Thanks. Nice boobs.
Thanks.
I have a training bra, but I don't like to wear it because it itches.
Tell me about it. Who are you waiting for?
My brother Jake. He's 17. He'll like your boobs, too.
They all do.
Jake marches onto the scene, shirt and pants now stained red. He is not in a good mood.
Come on, Laura. Let's go.
What happened to you?
None of your business. Let's get out of here.
Danny?
Oh, sorry. Hi, Jake.
Huh?
Jake stops. Who's this? And how's she know his name?
Try not to stare at her.
Shut.
I like your shirt.
Why? You want to throw something at me too?
It's a rude retort, but Danny doesn't flinch.
No, actually, I just like the Pixies.
Laura's ready to go, but Jake stops. He knows he was harsh, and now it's dawning on him how super hot Danny is.
Sorry, I just took a Slurpee shower because of the way I look.
No problem. I understand. This place is full of morons. I like the way you look.
Danny,
no
where the
one's
hell is the crystal?
I think it's just Crystal,
Yep, I
but you
mixed that
know.
up. Yep.
It's
That's
okay.
fine.
Crystal.
If I knew someone named Crystal, I would call them the Crystal too. But just then, a hyperactive guy with an HD camera approaches. This is Derek Jones, a classic wannabe film director. He's a dynamo of aggressive, predatory energy. A human piranha.
Oops, sorry. She's over there with Andrew. They're getting the sunscreen. I'm just waiting.
Across the street at a mom-and-pop tourist shop, a gorgeous California blonde, the Crystal, tries on gaudy sunglasses. She's trailed by Derek's pasty-pale assistant/slave, Andrew, loaded down with video gear like a postmodern Sherpa.
Sunscreen? We don't need sunscreen. We need body paint, condoms, and ready whip.
Fuck.
You tell her 10 a.m. tomorrow. I want her bleach blonde booty at the marina. I have to get my first shot off by noon. Bright and early, baby, so make sure those tits are perked. Let's see, Jake. Who's this?
That's Jake. He's a local.
A sand rat, huh? You know your way around the lake?
Yeah?
You want a job? I pay cash money. Don't bullshit me here, Jake. My guy didn't show. I need someone ASAP. Somebody I can rely on. Someone with ambition, who takes chances, if you know what I mean.
Mister, you talk funny.
Yeah, well, you're short.
Derek's cell phone rings. He answers, instantly talking.
Derek here. Whoa, don't disappoint me, motherfucker. I'll eat your heart and floss my teeth with your intestines. I said I want the biggest goddamn boat this podunk town has to offer, so I better get the biggest goddamn boat.
He turns his back, still talking as Jake looks to Danny.
Who is that guy?
Derek? He's the director. Oh, that's...
So
Danny, I think.
Oh.
That's fine.
So you're an actress?
No, not really. I'm a wild girl.
Wow.
Jake blinks, incredulous, nearly chokes on his gum. It sounds a little something like that.
Yeah, sorry, I keep jumping my lines.
No, you're fine. No, honestly, you're good.
Well, I go wild at 10 a.m. tomorrow, anyway.
What's a wild, wild girl, Jake?
Jake has momentarily forgotten his kid sister exists.
Yes, of course we know boats. Fuck the waiver. You signed the waiver. So Jake, baby, we gonna do this?
Do...
The job, the location scout, guide us around, the good spots, the G spots. I need a local. I need you. Talking about a life lesson here, Jakey.
Danny smiles. Jake opens his mouth, but no words fall out.
Great. 10 tomorrow, don't be late. Oh, wear a different t-shirt.
Derek claps him hard on the shoulder, walks away. Jake and Laura are left with Danny, who smiles as she follows.
So, Jake, I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
Well, actually, tomorrow he's gonna be...
Jake slaps a hand over his kid sister's mouth to shut her up and watches the wild, wild bunch walk away. Exterior, Sheriff Forrester's house. Night, a modest craftsman home right on the lakefront. The sheriff's patrol car in the driveway. Full moon on dark water. Interior, Sheriff Forrester's house. Night, the local news plays on the kitchen TV while Julie the sheriff is still in uniform, cooking dinner.
Mom, help me out. Where'd you put the leftover cookies?
They're over by the... Wait, are you kidding? I'm making dinner. No cookies. 10 minutes.
He turns her back. Jake nabs the cookies anyway. The phone rings, distracting her as Jake exits, passing Laura at the dinner table. Zane, age 8, plays video games on the sofa.
Well, when I become a rock star, see if I let you be one of my groupies.
Give me a break, dude. You play the trombone.
That's why I'm gonna do it, because no one's done it. Oh, this girl hasn't heard ska.
Guys, your father's on the phone. Who wants to talk to him first?
Busy.
Me too.
Jake, it's your father. Jake? Steve, I'm so sorry. We're about to have dinner. They'll have to call you back.
She joins her 2 youngest kids in the living room.
Guys, it would have been so much easier on me if you just said yes to spring break at your dad's.
There's nothing for me to do out there, and I don't like Sally's kids.
Me either.
But they're so close to Seattle. It's a big city.
Why don't you go then?
Julie smiles, a bit discouraged.
I just thought it could be nice. And it would have given Jake a chance to be with his friends for once.
Mom, we don't need a babysitter.
Especially not Jake.
Yeah, and who says he's planning to stick around and watch us anyway?
Julie stops in her tracks.
Excuse me, young lady?
Laura wears an impish smile, but tries an innocent face.
Jake made some other plans. Go ask him.
Jake?
Interior, Jake's room. Same time. The Wild Wild Girls website is on Jake's computer screen where Derek's surrounded by topless babes. Jake bobs his head to the site's catchy pop music, entranced, just as Julie fast knocks and opens the door. Caught, Jake races to speed click shut the site's sexy pop-up windows.
Why do you knock if you're just gonna walk in?
Am I disturbing you?
I'm studying, doing research for school.
But you're off for a week.
And you should encourage such academic commitment, Mom.
He manages to shield the screen with his body as he gives up on clicking the pop-ups and just stamps his monitor off.
So, Laura's telling me you may have some other plans for tomorrow?
Me? No, no way. What she's talking about? I'm 100% babysitting.
You know I don't have backup.
Mom, would I let you down? I know how crazy this week is for you. Don't worry. I'll handle the nitwits.
Arms folded. She's suspicious, but she shows some empathy.
Jake, I know all your friends are out there having fun, but this is family, and I've got no one else. And, by authority of the City of Lake Victoria, I do have the power to arrest and imprison you.
Mom, I'm not 12. Playing the sheriff card doesn't really work anymore.
Julie's look softens. Jake's convincing.
I'm telling you, you can count on me to bring this up in therapy in 10 years.
Reluctantly satisfied until that time 10 years from now, she tousles his hair and stands.
I promise. Next year we'll find a better solution.
No sweat, Mom.
Dinner's ready, okay? Come on.
She leaves, and Jake looks back to his computer. Unable to resist, he turns his monitor back on, where one last pop-up window shows two wild girls gyrating in smiles and bikinis right there on his screen.
Life lessons, Jake. Life lessons.
Exterior, lake swamplands, dead of night. A remote and marshy part of the lake, jet black and ominous, as a police car's headlights cut through the reeds, crunching over overgrown dirt road, patchy with weeds, rumbling and remote. The car stops at road's end, and it's Julie who emerges. Bleary-eyed, just awakened, uniform off-kilter. She rendezvous with reliable Deputy Fallon beside his own patrol car.
I hope I didn't wake the kids, Jules.
It's okay. They'll sleep through anything. So, Maggie last heard from him yesterday?
Yeah, just before noon. Says Ed took his boat out to bring back some bass. So she drove around the lake all night looking.
Where's the boat?
At water's edge stands Deputy Green with Ed's wife, Maggie. Beyond them is a 50-foot-long rotted pier, falling apart amidst the sinister swamp. Tall weeds protrude everywhere. And tangled 20 feet off the pier's end is Ed's fishing boat. No sign of any life inside. The duo keeps their voices low.
Feeling like a skinny dip, Jules?
You figure we can make it to the end of the pier?
Meaning what? I'm too old or I'm too heavy?
Too chicken shit. What do you think? We're gonna go get his boat, Maggie. Don't you worry. Ed just probably had to ditch it.
And he has a bad heart. Doc Endicott told him.
Deputy Green keeps the worried woman at bay as Julie and Fallon warily step onto the pier's rotten planks. Their flashlight beams dance in the gloom. Creak! The sodden boards moan with rot. Each step is precarious. The light beams illuminately briefly the mucky water beneath the boards. It's okay, we all have typos here and there, and some mysterious darting shadows.
Jules, you hear something down there?
Just the lake, right?
From underwater, beyond a tangle of reeds in the moonlight, Julie and Fallon's dark silhouettes dance and sway. Near the pier's end, Fallon reaches it first. One last plank to a busted railing, but as he leans weight on it, there's a snap.
That didn't sound good.
He shifts his weight back as Julie moves closer to him, and rip! The boards mid-pier give way, and Julie plummets in. She fully submerges, vanishing into the murk.
Julie? Julie!
A moment's tense silence. And then, an eruption of water as Julie springs up just behind him in the foreground at pier's end, wet, surly, and spitting mud.
Okay, that was disgusting.
Waist deep in the muck, Julie edges forward, spreading the high weeds with her arms. It's still tense. She's easy prey. But she wades and reaches the empty boat. Inside, the dead bass is still hooked on Ed's fishing line. Julie finds a coil of rope, tosses it to Fallon on the pier's end.
Pick the line and pull it to shore. How long do you think this thing was drifting?
Fallon starts reeling in the fishing boat, leaving Julie now alone in the middle of the swamp. She looks around, searching for a clue, anything that could help her to find Ed. Her eyes finally stop on something a few feet away. 3 gnarled, discolored twigs stick out of the water, one of them with a glint of metal reflecting the moonlight. Julie edges closer, getting a sinking feeling as she wipes the mud from the metal to reveal it's a wedding ring. Those things aren't twigs at all.
Ray, I need you to have Carter move Maggie Boyd out of here.
What do you see, Jewel?
Do it now, Ray. Shit.
She jumps a little, swatting the water at her legs, on guard.
What?
Fish or something. Nix me.
As crack! The end of the pier gives way. Fallon slides down the plank, splashes into the water as his flashlight submerges and lights up some gray-striped fish, just as Julie sees a bass poke its head from the water, nibbling a bit of flesh from the white bones.
Oh, shit. Just a bunch of bass.
But Julie's still startled, and she takes a step back. atop the body's foot like a lever, causing Ed's half-flesh, stripped skeleton to pop upward, straight out of the swamp, its momentum carrying it forward to collide with Julie as it falls atop her, bits of flesh and viscera hanging off the bone like it's been dipped in acid, tiny crabs and insects crawling out of its mouth and eye sockets. Julie yells in fright. Fallon cries out too, and poor Maggie the widow sees and screams. And screams. Julie flails to get out from under the corpse, splashing and scrambling to escape the muck and get back to shore, joining Fallon in mid-swamp as they scramble back onto land, where Julie and Fallon stop and stare back at the horrid floating body amidst the detritus of the boat and destroyed pier.
You alright?
They catch their breath to the din of Maggie's screams.
I've been better.
Oh, exterior, interior. Well, I guess it's both. Police station, next morning. Julie's patrol car parks behind the police station, which has been built on the waterfront. She's on the phone as she exits, all cleaned up from the night before.
Look, his boat was fine, and those were not propeller wounds. There's no way it was a boating accident. Tell him I want toxicity tests, like for acid or something, some flesh-eating thing. Yeah, well, tough shit if you're having breakfast. My day started with a biohazard bath.
The tiny station is packed with people as Julie makes her way inside. Among them is the town neurotic.
Sheriff Forrester, those boys came by last night, and do you know what they did? They exposed their genitals.
Did you get a look at their faces?
No, but I can ID the rest.
Others in the office can't help themselves from laughing. Same.
Shit.
Look, people, if any of you are here to report public drunkenness or nudity, we're not taking those complaints today.
Half the room groans and turns to leave.
And that includes anybody peeing on your house or property.
Most of the other half groans and follows. Her secretary, Amy, hands Julie some phone messages.
You've got 20 calls already, and Mr. Gordon's waiting in your office. What's that smell?
Chemical scrub. You should try it.
Interior Julie's work office. Mr. Gordon, the dam's annoyingly humorless chief engineer, regards the lake as Julie enters, leaving Amy behind.
What can I do for you, Mr. Gordon?
Julie, I think we may have a situation. We've detected a water level drop at the dam. 4.2 inches in the last 12 hours.
Julie grabs a radio, waterproof jacket, and sheriff's hat.
Can't you just slow your output flow and let the lake fill up again?
Apparently, the anomaly began right after yesterday's quake.
Julie now stops. Well, that part is serious.
Tell me the dam's still structurally sound.
Yes, there's no breach. That was checked right away. The water loss has apparently been elsewhere.
What's that mean? Where does water go?
Simple physics, Sheriff. Water goes down. USGS recorded heavy seismic shifting directly beneath the lake's south end.
A young deputy pokes his head into the office.
Rocky's joined selling liquor already.
I told him not before noon, didn't I?
You sure did.
We need to have a site survey done. I've requested a team of seismologist divers.
Okay.
Exterior police docks with her gear. Julie heads out on a back exit. Gordon follows.
And I told him you would escort them out.
Almost to her patrol boat, Julie stops in her tracks.
Mr. Gordon, as you know, our quiet little town of 2,500 has just been invaded by 20,000 kids who, for the next 10 days, have just one thing on their mind. Drink themselves into oblivion and screw anything that's not nailed down. Which makes me kind of sort of busy at the moment.
Those 20,000 kids, Julie, are the ones who provide jobs for this fine town. They only come here because of the lake. And I am telling you, it's losing water.
What time do the divers get here?
They'll be here by noon.
I can only spare 2 hours. They better be on time.
He hops onto her boat. Fallon's on board waiting. They depart the dock as a second boat brings back to the station some drunken kids wearing life vests and handcuffs.
Welcome to spring break, Lake Victoria.
Thanks for reminding me.
Of what?
To call in sick this year. Ed's body must be just getting to Huntsville. What would you say to the idea of closing the lake until we get the autopsy report?
I'd say it'd take days to get something conclusive, and that's 2/3 of the town's annual income you'd be putting on the line. Last I checked, Julie, sheriffs get elected.
Off Julie's conflicted look. Exterior, Julie's house, day, underwater. We move slowly from the depth to the surface, where the feet of a kid sitting on the wood deck flutter in the water. It's Zane, fishing. His white skin seems to glow. Outside, a worm hangs in the air when it's suddenly pierced by a sharp hook. Zane prepares his fishing rod. Laura and Jake stand behind him.
It's one day, okay? One day only. But we've got to keep our story straight.
We're not lying to Mom.
Yeah, we're not lying to Mom.
And I'm not asking you to lie to Mom. I'm asking you to say what you always say. What happened at school today? Nothing, Mom. What'd you play with your friends today? Nothing, Mom. What'd you do while Jake was babysitting?
He motions to Zane and Laura, prompt to say nothing.
Babysitting? What babysitting? Jake went out to see naked girls.
Laura! Okay, what do you say I give you guys the babysitting money to take care of yourselves? Just for the afternoon. $20. Pretty sweet, huh?
Don't you get paid $40 a day to look after both of us?
Listen, you little shit. Every year it's the same thing. I'm stuck here with you and miss all the spring break fun.
You mean the spring break boobies. What about Kelly?
Kelly? We're just friends. I don't like Kelly. Who says I like Kelly?
Zane and Laura trade a look. Yeah, right.
Okay, let me teach you two something here. You're gonna be too young to understand this, but there are some girls in the world that you wait for. If you ask them out in high school, you date for a month, then you break up, it's ruined, and you're never friends again. So what you do is, you let her do that with a bunch of other guys, and then who's left standing? You.
Stupidest thing I ever heard. $60 and you've got a deal.
60, but I get paid 40.
$20 deception surcharge. Better make up your mind. It's almost 10 o'clock. Would you have somewhere to be?
Jake sighs, finds his wallet, pretty much empties it.
Thank you.
Don't pick up the phone, don't answer the door, and do not leave the house. I'm counting on you.
Exterior, Lakeside Road, day. A retro welcome to Lake Victoria billboard as a convertible speeds past, racing a beat-up motorcycle. Sexy, smoking hot college girls scream as they hang out of the car. The biker recklessly lifts the shield of his helmet to wink at the cheering girls. He's a little too old for spring break, but his spirit is just right. This is Sam. A large truck follows the motorcycle and girls. A magnet on the side reads, United States Geological Survey. Interior USGS truck. That's probably that same truck now, isn't it? Team leader Novak is at the wheel. A friendly charmer of a man's man. Scruffy facial hair and trucker's cap on backwards. Next to him, a cowboy-hatted tomboy, Paula.
If he hits the wheelie, it's over. I'm taking his sloppy seconds, thirds, and fourths.
35 going on 18? Are you guys ever gonna grow up?
No wheelie, Sam. Don't do it. Don't.
But too late. Exit Lakeside Road day. One of the girls in the convertible flashes her tits, and Sam pulls back on the handlebars and hits the wheelie. The girls go nuts. Sam drives in front of the convertible, coming down from his wheelie. A crude bumper sticker is seen close on. The bumper sticker reads, Divers always go down. Wasn't ready for that one. Interior USGS truck. Novak smiles as Sam finishes his wheelie and then speeds up, disappearing in the distance.
We're diving on Lake Victoria during spring break. Who the hell wants to grow up?
I'm so screwed. You guys are all gonna want to stay the whole weekend.
Exterior Lake Victoria, main pier, seen from above in slow motion. A hot, big-breasted chick jumps on a trampoline. With every jump, she gets closer to camera. Loud music pulsates from dozens of boats anchored in and around the main pier. Partygoers drink, dance, and scream. The entire marina has turned into a giant open-air dance floor, packed with tanned young flesh. The docks are bustling with activity as people prepare for a day on the lake. The boats range from little dinghies to two-engine racing boats. Amidst it all, Deputy Fallon works to keep some of the semblance of order, accosting a fat frat who tossed trash in the lake.
That's the town rules, kid. You toss a piece of trash in our lake, you gotta jump in and pick 10 pieces up.
The fat kid protests, but the partiers around him shout, "Go, go, go, go," until his buddies toss him in. The kid surfaces with handfuls of plastic bags and beer cans. Everybody cheers. Further down the docks, the USGS truck has parked. Novak and Paula unload dive tanks and hardware. Sam joins them carrying red pom-poms, waving to the convertible girls.
After the dive, our presence is requested at Kokomo by the Arizona State cheerleading team.
Those were cheerleaders?
I know, the best. Girls have been trained to make you happy.
So, you must be the divers.
They turn to see Julie has arrived, in all her sheriff's gear. All business. Sam and Paula straighten up.
I'm Sheriff Forrester. Bob Gordon wanted me to take you out to the site.
Good to meet you. Love the welcoming committee in this town. My name's Novak. This is Paula. That's Sam.
And I'll assume that's technical equipment?
Hey, Sheriff, don't ask, don't tell.
Novak grins. Julie doesn't. Novak turns to his topograph map.
All right, according to the epicenter coordinates, we need to get out to here.
Okay, that's about 30 minutes to the south. I'm ready when you are.
Novak takes in her officious attitude. It's lost on Sam.
Hey, you guys sure you're gonna need me? I might have to explore some other seismic faults today. Hey, you scuba diving ladies?
Julie's unamused. Novak shrugs an apology, taps his head.
Nitrogen imbalance. It happens.
Exterior, main pier, elsewhere, same time. Deputy Fallon and Green walk by. Not seeing Jake crouched behind a pickup truck on his idling scooter, keeps face shielded until they're past, then parks and enters the crowd. Walking down the dock, looking for the wild, wild bunch. We hear snippets of the semi-truck. Sorry, we hear snippets of the semi-drunk boat captains as he passes.
Where be my fellow boat captain?
Such as boat captain
Muted.
number 1 and boat captain number 2, if I were to name a couple by name.
Good. Now, the same rules apply to the water as on the road. No drinking and driving, no showboating.
Lake Victoria be 45 miles long and ranges in width from 1 mile to 3, so you can get lost. But don't.
Jake's hurrying, noting a clock over a lake map reads 10:15.
Oh no, please still be here. Please.
Just then he hears a howling in the water. Jake runs to the edge of the dock to get a better look. As scene shifts to slow-mo for Jake's point of view of Danny on a central party boat amidst many more. Ah, boy, this is going to be great to read. Her bikini would have made a Brazilian girl blush. The ultimate spring break internet fantasy.
Yeah, baby, take it off. I love you. I'll marry you. I'll do anything.
Derek and Andrew film the fun with their HD camera when Danny's even wilder and clearly trashier friend Crystal joins in and French kisses her. The crowd cheers!
Oh my god, I can't believe my parents are paying for this!
The whole crowd starts chanting.
Motorboat.
Motorboat.
You really like boats, guys.
We love them. Moonboat coming
I am a
2025.
motorboat!
Crystal smiles and obliges. Sorry, the Crystal smiles and obliges. She presses her face into Danny's impressive cleavage. She presses her face into Danny's impressive cleavage and blows air, her head shaking rapid fire. The crowd erupts at her performance of The Motorboat.
Glad that was in quotation.
Yeah, so we wouldn't. This is the best day in the history of the world.
Jake? Jake?
Jake turns to see Kelly in shorts and a tank top. Surprised, his first instinct is to smile. His second is to casually cup both hands over his shorts.
Kelly,
Who exactly are you babysitting here?
actually, see, it's funny.
Or maybe you just didn't want to hang out with me?
No way. Hey, come on.
Distracted by cheering guys, she now sees Danny and the Crystal. I'm going to stop calling her the Crystal.
Wow. Look at those idiots.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Camera in hand, Derek spots Jake and storms toward him. Derek.
Hey, Sandrat, where the hell have you been? We got the girls lubed up and ready to roll. I'm docking your paycheck. Come on, kid. Let's go. Or, okay then. Whoa! Now I know what you've been scouting for the last 15 minutes.
Kelly, I'll catch you later since you have to go.
Hello there, Kelly. I'm Derek Jones.
Oh, that's it.
You know this guy?
Know me? Jake is my boy. He's the man with the plan, the insight, the knowledge.
I'm not buying it. We're in math class together. And those girls are with you?
Hell yeah. Why? You into girls?
She's confused, equal parts disgust and jealousy. Eyes on Jake.
I'm just showing them around all the cool spots.
The job's called Location Scout. You should come with us. We're making movie history today.
Oh no, she's already got plans.
You like champagne?
I love champagne.
You are 17. Hang on! Wait a minute!
And I'd love to take a ride on your boat. Thanks, Derek. After all, someone's got to keep an eye on the man with the plan here.
She flashes a smile and sachets off. Jake's deflated. Soto.
Jake's deflated. Why? Why today?
Jake starts to hurry after her, but Derek holds him back.
Excellent catch, Jake. Dynamite find. You scout like a damn professional.
Just then, Matt and his cronies arrive on scene, drunk. They've spotted Derek from the crowd near the boat.
Whoa! Derek! You're Derek Jones! I buy all your videos, man! You rock!
Yeah, thanks. Bring me girls.
Yo, are you taking resumes, man?
About to board the water bug, Jake now catches up with Kelly.
Kelly, you know who Derek is? If he invites you to party with him, it's only to get you in front of his camera.
Oh, come on. No one can force me to do anything I don't want to, right? Besides, you'll be there to protect me.
He's helped aboard by Danny and Crystal, tossing a teasing look back at Jake. Matt and pals now see Kelly on board.
Yo, Matt, dude, that's Kelly.
Baby, how did you... I mean... Hey, what's happened to hanging with us?
Kelly just ignores, greeted by Danny and Crystal.
Hi there, welcome aboard.
Is that your boyfriend or something?
Nah, he's just a guy from school. The kind who says he has backstage passes when he really never did.
Kelly! Let us come, we'll be cool.
Sorry, guys. It's called Wild Wild Girls, not drunk meatheads.
He orders Andrew to cast off ropes. The gangplank's raised.
Fuck, is that Jake Forrester?
Now don't forget, everybody, we're off to shoot some wildcore blow-your-mind footage with these wild goddesses here. All women are goddesses. But we'll see you again out at Copper Canyon, 4 o'clock, for the Lake Victoria Wet T-shirt Wild Stravaganza.
The crowd cheers! Derek motions to Andrew. He blasts some music as he starts the engine, and the water bug heads out. Derek pumps his arms to the music, then heads after the girls. Jake basks in the energy of the moment, seeing Matt and Brett furious, seeing the crowd waving them off. But it's a brief moment of vindication, because he turns back towards the bow where he sees Derek saunter up to Danny, Crystal, and Kelly and slip an arm around Kelly's waist. His dream day is turning into a nightmare. Exterior Zane's house, day, a jet ski blasts past, woohoo! In its wake, we reveal Zane slowly push an aluminum canoe off their dock. He carries a backpack, pole, and tackle, and Mr. Goodman's bag of worms.
Zane, we have to talk about this. We told Jake we'd stay at the house.
I told him I'd fish, but I can't if there aren't any. Lake's too busy. Come on, Sand Island's really close.
Laura sighs, finally gets in and grumbles.
I should have brought my trombone.
No way. Be a girl and just sunbathe or something.
As they push off, Laura leans back at the bow and trails both hands in the water, wiggling her fingers. From underneath the surface, Laura's fingers are seen. The small, vulnerable boat is the only thing on the vast surface. Exterior lake / interior Sheriff's Patrol boat. Elsewhere, a police boat zooms across the water at a speedy clip of 20 knots. It carries Julie, Novak, Sam, and Paula. Julie's at the helm. Sam and Paula prep gear at the stern while Novak enters, intrigued by the sheriff.
You don't see many women working law enforcement out here in cowboy country.
We see a lot of cowboys, though.
Novak grins, watches her steely eyes survey the lake.
I heard when they first built this dam, this place was a real pristine paradise, stocked with 50 different species of fish. Must be hard to watch, year after year, when yahoos take it over this way.
We're down to 7.
What?
Species of fish.
Novak nods, glances to the water with a troubled frown.
You know the strange thing about that? I haven't seen a fish yet this whole trip.
Exterior, the water bug. Upbeat music is pumping as the wild, wild girls' boat cruises. Jake's with Andrew with a lake map spread out at the helm.
It's our first year shooting Lake Victoria. Usually we're at Panama Beach or South Padre, but those girls are so quick to take it off. There's no more surprises, you know what I mean? Derek wants to capture innocence. He says it's all about innocence.
Jake listens, distracted, watching Kelly off with Derek and Crystal, drinking glasses of champagne. Derek keeps trying to pull her closer. Kelly repeatedly wriggles free. She tries to laugh and smile, but she's getting a touch uncomfortable. She turns to see Jake looking at her, and both of them pretend to look somewhere else, as Danny sidles up to the helm.
So how come everyone calls you local kids sand rats?
It's what they called the workers who built Parker Dam in the 30s. Without them, there'd be no lake and no town. Before the dam, this whole thing was desert.
Danny sees Jake's attention is locked on Kelly.
You know, I wish guys would stare at me like you've been staring at her for the last 30 minutes, 17-year-old.
Who, me? No way. I wasn't staring at her.
Don't worry, Derek's just making his play. Might as well ask him not to breathe.
Show a girl a camera and she'll want to perform. It's a law of physics. She's no different.
Nah, not this one. I'm telling you.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen him charm the pants off a lot of women.
She's not messing up your party, is she?
Like I care. She's not my girlfriend. This is great. We're having fun. We're going wild. I'm going wild.
Hey Jake, how far is this place?
We're almost there.
Derek turns back to Kelly, says something that makes her laugh. Danny leans into Jake with a whisper.
Speaking of wild, you haven't seen anything yet.
Still 17.
And you're still 17.
The wild, wild girl's boat has anchored in a beautiful cove. Suddenly, 2 splashes erupt in the foreground as Danny and Crystal surface for breaths like glistening sea nymphs.
Okay, action, action. Here we go. Let's get you girls into character.
They swim to the boat ladder where Jake is standing. As they reach up to hand him their bikini tops and bottoms, the water refracts their naked figures beneath.
Here you go, Jake. Why don't you put it somewhere?
Yeah, put it anywhere you want.
She and Crystal swim off, laughing and splashing, as we now reveal Kelly sunbathing on an inner tube nearby. She watches Jake, eyes narrowed, holding the dripping bikinis.
See, it's part of the job. I have to get busy with... be right back.
As he darts down into the cabin, the wild girls call to Kelly.
Hey, Kelly cutie, wanna come join us?
Why? What you guys doing down there?
Come see for yourself.
Crystal, leave her alone. She's not even legal.
Oh, okay. Do your thing. Not for me.
Seen from the depths of the lake, Kelly's white skin glows in the sunlight, making her seem vulnerable. The main cabin of the Waterbug boat is glass-bottomed. Derek and Andrew both aim HD cameras towards the glass, as Crystal and Danny cross in the foregrounds like mermaids underwater, tangled and frolicking and fully naked. In the cabin, Jake tries to peer over Derek and Andrew's camera work for a view, his eyes popping wide.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Troll 2, she's eating her, they're going to eat me type reactions in here. As his cell phone rings, he reads the readout. Sheriff. Oh no! He turns away from the naked girls, turns back, turns away.
Shit, not now. Shit. Hi, Mom. How's it going? Nothing's happening here.
Intercut exterior lake, interior sheriff's boat. Julie's boat has reached its destination. Novak, Sam, and Paula change into wetsuits. In the background, Julie's on her cell.
Well, then why aren't you answering the home phone? I've been trying to reach you. Where are the kids?
Sorry, we've been outside. I can go get them if you want.
No, that's all right. What is that music?
Under the water, Danny and Crystal wrap naked bodies together.
Oh my god!
What? What's wrong?
Nothing. The kids just pitched a tent in the backyard. It's just great to see the two of them playing together.
Look at these goddess bitches. Oh shit, this is hot. Now that's what it's all about, yeah. Beer, sun, beer, and naked honeys making out underwater.
Jake, is a 45-year-old man with you?
Jake scampers up to the deck to get away from the 45-year-old man's noise.
Oh, no, that was kids out on the lake. It's crazy around here. You know how it is.
And on deck, he peers over the edge, both port and starboard, hoping for another glimpse of Danny and Crystal.
I know. Jake, listen to me. I don't want Zane or Laura near the lake today.
Okay, Mom. We'll stay inside. We'll catch some TV, or whatever's on.
And he catches the briefest glimpse of naked Danny and Crystal swimming back under the boat, hand in hand. He looks to Kelly's inner tube and sees it floating, empty. A half-empty champagne glass rests there upon it. Jake now looks troubled. Where is she?
Okay. Thanks, honey. Gotta go. I owe you for this one. I'll try to be home early.
Seeing the divers ready, she hangs up. So does Jake. He's still staring at the empty inner tube.
Kelly? Hey! Kelly! Where are you?
Silence on the water.
Kelly!
A shift in the waves causes Kelly's champagne glass to tip over, falls, sinks. Worried, Jake jumps into action. He pulls off his shirt and dives into the water, swimming fast for the inner tube where he searches all around, diving to scan underwater, seeing nothing below. He surfaces again, gasps for air, crying out,
Kelly! You guys, help!
Help with what?
Looking back to the boat, he sees Kelly standing at the ladder where Danny and Crystal are climbing out. Kelly hands them towels as they wrap themselves up.
What you doing all the way out there, Jake? You just missed the rest of the show.
Kelly gives him a smirk and walks away. Jake just floats at the inner tube. Outsmarted again. Moments later, Jake climbs back on board, wet and sour, as Derek accosts him.
Hey Jake, my man, can't thank you enough for the fresh teen meat. This holy fucking shit.
Oh my god.
This Kelly's gonna make me an internet star. You just gotta help me get her comfortable.
You know, I really don't think she's a wild girl material. I heard she's got a million scars, and she kisses like a first grader.
Watch and learn, kid. Watch and learn. The hooks are in. The girl is mine.
It's like a Disney villain.
Camera pans over the beautiful but tiny sand island to find Laura and Zane. Zane has his fishing gear, but no fish. They're staring at a docking post with nothing there.
Wow, good work. Way to tie off the canoe.
I must have gotten my knots mixed up.
So you catch 0 fish, and you lose our only boat. This day is just full of accomplishments.
Oh, Jake is gonna kill us.
Mom's gonna kill Jake.
So it's a good news, bad news thing.
Somebody'll see us. Somebody will stop.
Zane surveys the island while Laura removes her flip-flop and steps into the water, looking over the lake for any boats. Further away, Unnoticed, a huge shadow moves underneath the water, changing shape rapidly. A school of fish. Underwater, we can see Laura's feet walking between the rocks when the little girl steps on a broken beer bottle.
Ouch!
She sees a tiny piece of glass lodged in her foot. Painfully, she removes it, revealing a small cut that starts bleeding. A few drops of blood hit the surface of the lake, and in the water, the moving shadow accelerates towards the blood. It's almost at the little girl's feet when...
Laura! Come check this out!
Laura steps back on shore. On the other side of the small island, Zane has just found someone's campsite. A tent and the barbecue are unattended.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Zane peeks into the tent as Laura joins him.
Campers. They must have just left.
Without their gear? They even left their shoes.
Maybe they went for a swim?
But they couldn't have gotten over here without a boat, right?
Zane sees nothing but rocks protruding all around the island. Very distant, something bright orange shimmers in the water.
What is it?
I don't know, but it's upside down.
200 yards from the island, an overturned kayak is drifting away. The camera dives beneath the surface, revealing two horrid human skeletons still sitting in the inverted boat! Dissolved to Sheriff's Patrol vote day. A digital image of the lake bottom on a radar screen. A large black anomaly is right in the middle of it.
There's your drop in water level, Sheriff. You got yourself a brand new fissure cracked open right at the epicenter.
The back of the boat now looks more like a NASA command center than an old police patrol craft.
Whoa, look at the size of that. What is it, a cavern system?
Looks to me like a subterranean lake. Probably bigger than the one above. That gap there opened up a connecting passage.
Wait, a lake under the lake?
Sorry, Sheriff. Still your jurisdiction. Part of an old volcanic ridge. They're all over the area.
That's the beauty of it. We're gonna be the first ones to ever explore it.
I don't get why you're always so excited. All we ever see is rocks and sand.
We're popping its cherry, Sammy.
Ah, shit. Well, when you put it like that...
I don't like when you put it like that. Underwater moments later, seen from deep underneath Fallon's boat, the divers enter the water simultaneously. Novak remains up top of the patrol boat to monitor and guide the operation.
You should probably warn them. It's not very pretty down there. Tourists treat this lake like a garbage can.
How you guys doing? Sheriff says it's a regular treasure trove down there. I got dibs on fake gold jewelry and any back issues of Playboy.
I got dibs on, home appliances.
I got dibs on missing college girls.
Last year, we dove the sewers of New Orleans. Trust me. Can't be any worse.
With Sam in the lead, the two divers descend underwater towards the fault, releasing streams of bubbles back to the surface.
We're getting closer to the fault. Water's clear. Almost full visibility.
Within minutes, they stop at the edge of the geological tear. Their small human bodies reveal the sheer size of the opening and the scale of the damage done by the quake. The fault line extends like an open wound along the surface.
Oh my god. This is the longest one I've ever seen.
Hey, can you keep your mind on the task at hand?
Wow, Sam. Aren't you deep?
There you go again.
He picks up from the garbage-strewn ground a Campbell's can.
Hey, chicken soup for the soul.
It's at least 200 feet, Novak. We're switching on lights and going in.
After a last equipment check, they slowly enter the dark crevasse. The two divers disappear deep into the lake floor. Inside the crack, the crevasse seems endless. The walls, which extend deeper and deeper, narrow progressively towards the bottom. The divers look around in amazement.
Descending fissure. Novak, do you copy?
Yeah, ready. Good.
You should see this. It's unbelievable. Sedimentary lines are so clearly defined.
Finally, the crack has become too narrow for them to pass, but an opening remains large enough for one diver to go deeper.
Looks like single file time. I'll go first.
No, I should do the prelim scout. Your fat ass will get stuck.
Hey, I'm like an eel. an electric eel. I get into such tight spaces, it's shocking.
Can't believe you've ever had a date in your life.
On the surface of the sheriff's boat, Novak and Julie follow the diver's movements into the radio.
Looks like they've reached the bottom.
No, see? That's their depth. They're still... They're splitting up. Hey, I'm losing you guys. Everything okay?
But now, there's nothing but radio static. Inside the crack, attached to a nylon safety reel, Sam descends slowly into the hole, barely large enough to hold both him and his equipment. With his tank sliding and banging against the rocky, razor-sharp walls, Sam must use his hands to propel himself.
Hey, Paula, this increase in pressure reminds me. I ever tell you about my first date?
Read the line.
That's what it says, coward.
For those at home, Andrew changed a word. What word that is up to you. From the other side, Paula watches the thin safety rope unwind.
Heard the story before, and it's much too short.
Suddenly, the safety line jerks to a stop.
Sam? Sam?
Silence.
Yes?
Ah, gosh darn it.
Over the radio, Sam is heard laughing. Back in the hole, Sam continues moving. Just up ahead, just a few feet, is an ominous black hole. In the hole. It's the end of the tunnel.
End of the tunnel's right. Whoa, I'm hitting a serious drop in temperature. It's at least 30 degrees colder.
You're probably at the mouth of the underwater lake. Do you have any visual?
He gets to the edge. It's an amazing sight. A cave so big that even his flashlight is too weak to make out the other end. It's pitch black on all sides as he swims through the opening.
Jesus, this thing seems endless.
Some huge stalagmites are coming out of the ground in the dark. Looking closer, there's something strange about them, like if they were slowly waving. Sam removes a portable sonar. He scans inside the cave and gets a reading of 250 feet. He moves the laser around when something swims behind him. He turns quickly around, pointing the flashlight towards the cave wall, just a long seaweed passing with the current. He looks more closely and recognizes thousands of fish eggs clinging to the kelp in the rocks. Sam turns back to the moving stalagmites and realizes they're actually made up of thousands and thousands of fish eggs attached to the length of some tall seaweed.
Holy shit, it's like some fish eggs everywhere.
It is like that. Swimming backwards, his fins accidentally nudge the egg formations, sending a bunch of them floating away in the water. One of the eggs comes close to the camera, and we can see inside a creepy fish embryo moving in its sack, revealing piercing red eyes and sharp teeth. Sam approaches the rocky wall of the cave to touch the eggs when a blurry shape comes from nowhere, attacking his hand.
Fuck!
Sam pulls back. What was that? Looking back down, he realizes he's been severely bitten by whatever it was.
Sam, what are you seeing down there? Come on, Sam. Stop messing around.
Hey, something...
You're good. Blood streams from his hand in a steady flow.
Something bit me.
Yeah, I thought you always liked that kind of stuff. Sam? You hearing me? Sam?
Worried, Sam looks around in the darkness, but his flashlight simply fades into emptiness. Needing a stronger source, he lights an underwater flare whose blue electric light reveals a cavern wall of staring piranhas. With barely enough time to see their teeth, they've already attacked. Sam screams bloody murder. At the same moment, Paul... Oh, you're still going. Sorry.
No, just, yeah, it's good.
No, let me know. Let me know. Take 5, it's fine. At the same moment, Paula appears at the end of the tunnel. Her eyes freeze behind her mask as she watches the whirlpool of fish forming around Sam, whose blue electric aura turns bloody red. The swarm moves as one entity, a single predator with 1,000 parts. The flare descends to the bottom, landing on thousands of fish skeletons. With no time to turn around, Paula desperately tries to backtrack the tunnel backwards. Surface, sheriff's boat. On Novak's monitors, Sam's vital signs go haywire, flatlining, while Paula's vitals accelerate.
Jesus Christ, something's happening.
What? An aftershock? Novak, what?
I don't know. I have to get down there.
In a flash, Novak slips his own scuba tank back on. Back in the crack, breathing heavily, Paula moves backwards through the tight tunnel as fast as she can. The piranhas enter the tunnel.
No, Paula, swim. Fucking swim.
Paula struggles as she fits through the tight hole, squeezing through and accelerating towards the other end. The piranhas approach. Clack, clack, clack. Paula's point of view. The school quickly catches up, and the lead fish are already biting her hands and face. She gurglingly screams. Solid. Paula exits the tunnel and swims in the opposite direction in a total state of hysteria. Around her scuba mask, her face is completely bitten to the bone. A giant flurry of carnivorous fish follow Paula out of the tunnel, where they finally have enough room to surround her. Shaken like a rag doll, she's ripped to shreds in another whirlpool of blood. Just as the piranhas are about to dig into her liver, Novak appears above the building, eyes wide and incredulous, grabbing Paula's arm and pulling her out of the fault. Exterior lake day, Novak surfaces above the water, swimming rapidly and dragging Paula's body through the whirlpool of blood.
Sheriff, help me.
Julie reaches overboard, helping Novak back into the boat. His wetsuit's legs are slashed and bleeding. In turn, Novak pulls Paula up and out of the water. There remains practically nothing of her body. It's as if she was dipped in sulfuric acid. Julie literally recoils.
Oh my god!
Novak removes his mask and regains his breath. He's in total shock, but his wounds are superficial. He and Julie stare at a lone live piranha as it flops around on the deck. Exterior, the water bug day. A belly button is filled with tequila. To the sounds of upbeat party music. As Derek's face leans in to suck it out of Crystal's belly button, a sentence I wish I didn't have to say live on stream, his mouth moves up to her body to take a slice of lemon from between her lips. He then turns to his audience, Danny, Jake, Kelly, and Andrew.
Ladies, your body is a temple, and it's time to give thanks to the gods. Andrew, roll camera. Kelly, you're up.
Me? No, thanks. No, I think I've had too much already.
You don't want to worship at this beautiful altar? I know you're partial to champagne, but baby, you can trust Crystal.
Jake's had enough and decides to come to her rescue.
Derek, come on, man. She said no.
No, she said no thanks. There's a difference. She understands gratitude is the right attitude. Kelly, sugar, take it from me. It's never cheating if it's with another chick.
Kelly puts her glass down, just a little unsteady.
Go ahead, Kelly. Try it. It's fun.
Not trying to take away her fun now, are you, Jake?
Danny, Crystal, Andrew, Derek, they're all looking at him.
I told you, she's not my girlfriend.
Fine, I'll do it.
What?
Jake blinks, surprised, like that. Derek swiftly motions to Andrew. Roll camera, roll camera. She wild girl walks over to Derek, just trying to make Jake squirm. Derek runs a trail of salt down from Crystal's stomach, then fills her belly button with tequila.
First, you lick the salt, then you suck the tequila, then you get the lemon. Body, baby, temple, show this Jake kid how it's done. Do this one first for a little courage.
Everyone's eyes are on Kelly. Her eyes are on Jake. Like this challenge is somehow about him. She downs the shot.
Kelly, you don't have to do this.
We don't need your babysitting here.
After a deep breath, Kelly kneels beside Crystal and leans in, licking the salt trail to her belly button. Jake is mesmerized as Kelly sucks up the liquor, then moves up Crystal's body. Next is the lemon. But when Kelly moves to her mouth to get it, Crystal grabs the back of her head and makes out with her. Danny whoops playfully. Andrew beams.
Little Kelly, America thanks you.
Kelly's eyes open wide with surprise. She tries to pull away, but Crystal holds her tight till she gives in and starts kissing back.
Whoa, Jake, check it out. We got a sand rat making out with a model. You were probably hoping that was your job.
Kelly finally pulls away, now a bit embarrassed, glancing to Jake. She realizes the alcohol's gotten to her.
Okay, how about we trade places now? Jake.
Fine. Where's the lemon? Also, at what point does this count as Yuri?
Come and get it.
But Danny's aware of the tension here and intervenes.
Wait, let's do something else. Let's mix it up. How about Jake and Kelly?
What?
Everyone stops. Derek wears a "don't spoil it" look.
I really don't think she,
Come on, Derek. Poor kid hasn't had a drink all day. I mean, if it's all right with her.
Ellie's head is swimming. What's the right answer?
I don't care. Up to Jake.
No, it's up to the captain. Derek's boat, Derek's rules. Am I right, Derek?
Fuck it. Sand rats, roll camera. Let's go.
More timidly, Kelly lies down on her back. Danny gives her a "don't worry" pat, pours the salt, and fills up the tequila. Jake kneels before her, reluctantly. She seems so vulnerable this way, so trying to be someone she's not. As Derek and Andrew, both filming, start up the competitive chants.
Jake.
Sand
Jake.
rats,
Jake.
Sand rats,
Jake.
Sand rats, sand rats.
Jake.
Almost apologetic, Jake licks the salt, drinks the tequila, and approaches Kelly's face. Their lips are about to touch with that first dreamed of, hoped-for kiss, when all of a sudden, Kelly sits up and vomits overboard.
Oh my gosh, she's puking!
This is cinema. This is awesome.
This is pod racing.
This is water bug racing. Kelly finishes vomiting in the head as Jake stands behind her, awkwardly holding her hair. Then she waves him away.
I'm sorry. I've never drank like that before. I shouldn't have mixed all that stuff with the boat.
Oh, yeah. You think? You think maybe getting on this boat in the first place was maybe not the best idea you ever had in the world?
Oh, that's right. All this was my idea. It's not a problem for you to be here.
I'm 17, okay? And I'm a guy. I had the chance for a master's degree in sex here. I was hanging out with supermodels. What the hell is so wrong with that?
Is that a serious question?
They just want to exploit you, and you let them.
And if I never had, I never would have...
She catches herself, turns to the sink, splashing water on her face, chastising herself in the mirror.
I can't believe I made out with a girl. I am so pathetic.
Well, actually, that was kind of hot.
I knew it. I knew that's what you wanted. God,
Yeah.
such an... God, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I came on this boat for you.
Her voice is so angry it takes him a full 2 seconds.
For me?
Excellent
Yes,
timing.
Jake. Did you really think I wanted to hang out with Derek, the cokehead pornographer?
Yes.
Huh.
Jake's amazed. He has coke? All this time he thought he was the one to be afraid to make the first move.
What was I thinking trying to compare myself to them? Look at them and look at me. I look like shit.
She's almost crying. For Jake, it's now or never.
You are so much better than those girls.
Yeah, right. They're older, way more experienced, and they have the best bodies I've ever seen. Really, have you looked at them?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes. But it doesn't matter, Kelly. I think you outshine them in every way.
Wiping her tears, she looks up at him with a smile.
What?
Nothing.
Tell me.
They look at each other for a moment and move closer and closer.
Do you think it's gross if we kiss right after I just puked?
Their lips are almost touching.
Definitely.
But it doesn't matter. It's that sweet, tender first kiss time, and when they finally break, it's true and sincere.
Now let's go bring you back home.
Interior of the Lake Victoria Pet Emporium, an insistent knocking at the door. Mr. and Mrs. Goodman enter from a side door, turning on lights and opening the door to see Julian Novak, bedraggled and shell-shocked. With Fallon behind them, Novak carries a water bucket.
Sheriff?
Sheriff? I'm Mr. Goodman.
Oh,
Y'all figure that out.
No,
But before he
No,
can
I'm Mr.
finish
Gordon.
his
Fuck, there's too many G names. Never mind. JK.
But before he can finish recasting himself, Julie grabs the bucket from Novak and bursts in to slam it on the counter.
What the hell is this doing in my lake?
Where did you get this?
In the middle of the lake, where 2 people are dead.
Mrs. Goodman gasps, put a hand to her heart. Julie spins to Fallon with his radio ready.
Try to cordon off the south end all the way to the dam. Use fishing nets, dredge nets, whatever the town has. Try to work from Sand Island to Lookout Point.
Oh, Bob Gordon, prep emergency shut-off off the spillway.
The second we have approval from the governor, I want full evacuation. No boats, no swimmers, nothing. Everybody out of the goddamn water. Pray it's contained downstream to the south.
Fallon exits. All the while, Mr. Goodman has been focused on the fish. Fascination in his eyes, he dumps the bucket into an empty aquarium tank, revealing the captured piranha.
Oh my.
Oh my. Yeah, oh my. Oh my, they just tore 2 friends of mine apart. That thing's a piranha, isn't it?
Carl? Someone must have released it into the lake.
It's not the only one. There were more.
You fucking see this? There were thousands.
I've heard of this happening. It's like those baby alligators in New Jersey. Someone leaves them, they breed, and...
No one released this fish into the wild.
His grave, mesmerized tone stops them all. His gaze remains locked on the piranha swimming beyond the glass.
Carl, how do you know that?
No one on Earth could have bought this fish.
What are you talking about?
This particular piranha vanished off the face of the planet more than 2 million years ago.
He takes off his glasses and looks above the exotic fish area to a large fossil of a giant fish hanging on the wall.
Allow me to introduce you to Pygocentrus netereri, the first piranha, the original piranha.
Goodman retrieves a stepladder and climbs it to bring the fossil down. Skeletal remains embedded in a stone crosscut.
My father worked in construction on Parker Dam. They found fossils like this when they first broke ground. He gave this one to me for my 8th birthday. They used to swim the Colorado River right up until the Pleistocene epoch.
Sure. Novak grabs the fossil and compares it to the live fish. Both specimens have many things in common.
I still don't understand how you found one alive.
We discovered a subterranean lake through a rift that the quake opened up.
How could they survive for so long, cut off from the surface?
By eliminating and feeding off all the other species.
And then what?
Cannibalism. They must have fought each other to survive. Look at all those scars on his scales and notice the eyes.
Mr. Goodman comes closer to the tank where a prehistoric fish is agitated and annoyed by his confinement. But when Goodman stops moving, the piranha stops moving too.
Jesus, it's like he's staring back.
Not staring, sensing. Centuries spent in darkness must have rendered them blind and forced them to react to movement.
Goodman slightly touches the water. The piranha turns back right away and starts hitting the glass of the tank to break free, revealing his open, angry jaw.
Piranha hunt in packs, not for protection, but for overwhelming force. They're organized, methodical. The first bite draws blood. The blood draws the pack.
So how can we stop them?
They're killing machines, but they're still fish. You can catch them or kill them, but if there really are thousands.
Yeah?
Yesterday would have been a good time to start.
In the channel moments later, we are close on a megaphone.
This is the Lake Victoria Police Department. We have an emergency situation. This lake is officially off limits to swimming of any kind.
Throughout the channel leading to the lake, Julie's deputies navigate their fleet in an attempt to clear the water from the swimmers. Julie uses her megaphone to speak to the crowd.
Anyone attempting to re-enter the water will be subject to immediate arrest.
Exterior of Copper Canyon on the other side of the lake at the same time. At that time of the day, Copper Canyon is crowded with spring breakers. Empty beer cans float all around the boats and jet skis. Different kinds of music are coming from everywhere. On one of the boats, a cute redhead, barely 18, is drinking her first beer bong, while some other guys, including Matt and his group, moon each other from deck to deck. Deputy Fallon's patrol boat navigates through the armada of partiers on boats, inner tubes, and jet skis. A large crowd is gathered a few hundred yards from the shore around the floating stage, which hosts the afternoon attraction. A wet t-shirt contest, dude! As the DJ plays upbeat music, a bunch of girls in dying to get wet white t-shirts get sprayed by powerful water guns. The crowd cheers as the party gets hot and wild. The bass from the music vibrates through the water, deeper and deeper. Deputy Fallon's patrol boat trolls through the mass of spring breakers, yelling down at him.
Out of the water, now!
But nobody's listening. Fallon puts the sirens on, but the music's too loud.
Cut the engine.
Deputy Fallon takes his gun out of his belt and shoots 3 times above his head. The DJ stops his music and looks along with everyone else. Now Fallon has their full attention. He lifts his megaphone and addresses the floating crowd.
This is the Lake Victoria Police Department. The sheriff has declared an emergency.
Oh, don't worry, we got beer over here.
This lake is off limits to swimming. The water has been deemed unsafe. Clear the area or face immediate arrest.
Another beep. Then, a kid from the crowd erupts.
Cannonball!
Several dozen people all jump into the lake at the same time, quickly imitated by the rest. Screams of enthusiasm fill the air as the DJ restarts his music. Drunk youth goes wild. Fallon picks up the radio.
Julie, evac's gonna be a bit of a problem. There's us and there's 20,000 kids. You do the math.
Let's do it. We're on our way.
Underwater, seen from the bottom of the lake, we can see hundreds of swimmers and boats splashing in and out of the water, all unaware of the danger to come. Exterior channel, Julie speeds her boat to join Fallon at Copper Canyon. She's on her phone, yelling over the roar of the engine.
National Guard, Coast Guard, all the forces in your power to deploy. I know, Governor, but we're talking about thousands of them. I've seen them. They are here.
Screaming exterior cliff, so you know where the cliff diver is. A screaming cliff diver jumps, splashing into the water below. I think whoever that is did it, but it was so good that it wasn't audible. But I'll tell you.
I'll do it less good. Yeah, boy!
Acceptable. 2 more divers have made their way to a ledge on the cliff. They scream so loud no one can hear them. Below them, half a dozen other people start climbing up. The divers look down at the long drop to the sparkling water. Where's diver number 1 at?
So diver number 1.
I'll take it. Don't worry. Just clench up your butt cheeks when you hit so your balls don't get sucked up inside your ass.
He jumps off the ledge with a tribal yell and plummets for what seems like an eternity. Suddenly, the placid surface of the water implodes as diver number 1's body enters the lake, shooting down into the depth. In a pack, the school of Piranha immediately attack. Near the lake floor, diver number 1 lets out a muffled underwater scream and furiously tries to swim up to the surface, but his body's completely surrounded by chomping fish. Diver number 2 looks down tentatively, waiting for his friend to reappear. He doesn't, but bubbles do. And then blood. Lots of blood.
Oh my God.
Dismembered body parts float to the surface. Terrified, diver number 2 backs away from the ledge, and as he turns to go, another boy pushes him off the cliff.
Come on, pussy, jump!
Slow motion, diver number 2 falls face first to his death, screaming. Exterior Lake Victoria above the water, match cut to a close-up on drunk girl's mouth, screaming at the top of her lungs. pull out to reveal she is 200 feet in the air, dangling from a parachute. A parasailing speedboat pulls her along. The drunk girl looks down at all the activity below. The boat slows as Drunk Girl, which is her official legal name now, drops in altitude. Her feet drag in the water for a few moments before the boat picks up speed again, lifting Drunk Girl back into the air. Exterior water bug, an exuberant vibe. Andrew drives the boat while Derek follows Drunk Girl through his camera lens. Meanwhile, Jake guides Kelly back topside. She's woozy, an ice pack held to her head. Jake.
Muted.
Theo, you've gotten too cool. You gotta unmute.
Yeah, sorry. I hope everyone can lip read. Sorry. Just sit still and rest. You'll feel better. I'll talk to Derek.
Crystal's by Derek, whispering in his ear. His nose twitches.
Jake, I'm promoting you. Take the camera and point it at that chick. The water might pull her top off. Don't miss it.
Listen, if it's okay, Kelly and I, the 17-year-olds, are kind of ready to head home.
You get paid for the day. Get the shot.
Derek thumps the camera into his chest and then leads Crystal to a starboard bench for a cocaine break. With no other choice, Jake points the camera. The speedboat slows, dipping Drunk Girl again before lifting her back up, and now she's waving at someone. So Jake tilts the camera down to see Sand Island. The girl's waving at two kids. Jake zooms in. It's Zane and Laura. They're waving for help. He puts the camera down.
Shit, Kelly!
What's wrong?
Zane and Laura out on Sand Island. That's my brother and sister.
Are they waiting for help?
They're supposed to be at home. I'm supposed to be at home.
Derek lifts his powdered nose from a rolled up dollar bill.
What are you doing? You're gonna miss the money shot.
That's my family over there. I think they're in trouble.
You're the one in trouble if I don't get my flying tatas now.
What the hell is wrong with you?
What's wrong with me?
Suddenly, Drunk Girl's breasts are exposed. Derek scrambles forward, spilling his tray of coke as he flails for the camera.
God damn it, you're missing it.
Frantic, Derek picks up the camera, searching for the flying Drunk Girl, but she's disappeared behind a mountainous ridge.
God damn it. Fuck.
We need to go get them. They're stranded. They need me. Are you even listening? You don't understand. My mom's the sheriff.
Everybody spins. Crystal's head pops up from the floor mid-coke snort. Andrew drops some equipment. Danny's eyes flash, amused, watching Derek lower the camera with seething eyes.
Am I to take that as a threat?
All I'm saying is, if we don't stop by Sand Island, there could be consequences. For me. And I just wouldn't want any collateral damage.
Like, say, confiscated videotapes?
He's now moved beside Jake to back him up. Derek sourly stares at the two of them, tension in the air.
So, what are we doing, boss?
Swing by the motherfucking island. Throw the minnows in the boat.
Here you're underwater. The water bug's propeller churns water as it changes direction. Andrew still drives, nearing reef-like docks that ring the isle.
Be real careful on the approach. The shallows are full of rocks and weeds. I've seen them strip motors clean off.
You're the one who needs to be careful.
He says it low, confidingly, causing... Yeah, you're fine. You want to take another take at it? Go for it.
You're the one who needs to be careful.
He says it like that, causing Jake to look back to the back of the boat where Danny and Crystal primp and preen. But Derek's not watching them. His cold stare's on Jake. Back to the... interior underwater day. Back to the main spring break location where, just below the surface, a mass of piranhas swims towards the spring breakers. We see inner tubes from below where ringed asses and bikini bottoms hang like ripe fruit. On the floating stage, a sorority girl floats in one of those inner tubes and suddenly reacts with a yelp as if pinched, and then pinched again. She raises her butt out of the water to find a better position as Julie's patrol boat arrives on scene to join Fallon's. Julie sees the surge on the water approaching the swimmers.
Oh my god, they're heading straight for them.
There's 2 more schools moving further up. Do you see them?
They're surrounding us. We've got to get these kids out of the water.
Watching the wet t-shirt contest, the same sorority girl in the inner tube cheers at the action on stage, then gets sucked down. Then gets sucked down ass first through her ring. No one really notices at first, nor when a second swimmer disappears further away. But then the blood surfaces and swimmers edge back.
Holy fuck! Shark! Shark! Who the fuck yells shark in a lake?
But
I yell shark in a lake! Well, fuck you then!
Hey, that guy yelled shark in a lake!
Shark!
Get a load of this fucking guy! But the confusion isn't comical for long, as a slow-building panic spreads through the crowd when the butchery starts for real! More people disappear into the lake, gallons of blood spread across pools of bubbling water. What was panic a few seconds ago now turns into terror. Everybody climbs on the stage, making it way too heavy. People start to pull themselves on the top of the structure, which swings back and forth. It's the human race at its motherfucking worst. People crying, screaming, pushing, and fighting each other for the smallest life-saving space. Top-heavy, the stage is off balance. A wave of hysteria spreads over the crowd as the stage collapses. The wet t-shirt girls slide into the water. Stage right, hanging to one of the monitor speakers. The DJ looks as the whirlpool of blood turns the water full of flesh, hair, and hemoglobin.
Shit, man. Somebody stop this thing. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, dude.
Cables pop, sparks fly when one of the audio towers tumbles into the lake, hitting a boat full of college kids. A cable holding up a lighting rig snaps with tremendous force and flies across the water. The cable slashes a boat of bikini girls, instantly severing arms and other body parts. They only could think of arms and just had to be like, yeah, you know, and the other ones, setting them into the water to the feasting piranhas. The camera cranes over the bloody mosh pit, but screams of agony have replaced the rock music. Exterior lake continuous. Meanwhile, the drunk parasailing girl still floats in the air, bare-breasted. The boy driving the boat, pulling her, slows down as he sees the unusual activity around the floating stage.
Look, what the hell's going on?
The boat comes to a stop. Seen from underwater, drunk girl dips back down into the lake. The other two boys in the boat stand to look out over the horizon, trying to understand what's happening over there. They don't notice that behind the boat, the parasailing girl who's fully submerged starts to scream and wiggle as the water bubbles around her.
Let's get out of here.
The speedboat starts up again, revealing behind them a lifeless drunk girl lifted into the air. The flesh from her bottom half has been eaten away. Exterior Julie's boat day. As Julie drives her boat into the fray, Novak pulls out their first rescue, a young woman with bite marks so terrible it's hard to tell if she'll survive. Julie abandons the helm to help pull more survivors out of the water. Kids splashing desperately for her boat. Their bodies are mutilated. The fish are everywhere, attacking from all sides as Julie draws out her gun. Bang, bang, bang! The bullets get through the water into the school of fish, killing just a few.
You know guns?
Yeah, enough.
Pick the shotgun behind you.
Novak grabs the shotgun and pumps it. He's been waiting for this all day. Ka-ching! Bang! He starts shooting again, but the fish are everywhere. Novak and Julie fire again, and again other fish explode above and underwater. Novak then spots something.
There's too many kids still in the water.
Novak, what are you doing?
As she watches Novak leap right off her boat, he splashes down into the water and surfaces just in time to grab the throttle of an abandoned jet ski. It revs out of the water just in time as the piranha churn the water right on Novak's heels. As Novak sweeps the ski into a crowd of fleeting teens, he grabs a girl and helps her aboard.
Grab another person. Make a chain.
The rescued girl clutches him around the waist, reaches a hand back, gripping another girl. A guy grabs her legs, a girl grabs his legs, and more as Novak revs the jet ski ahead, pulling a human chain of a dozen wounded swimmers out of harm's way faster than the piranha can swim. Although the last geeky kid in the chain, I can't believe my parents paid for this, is not so lucky, screaming as piranha sever his arms at the elbows. It's fine. The kid falls back, doomed, while his forearm survives, still clutching some girl's ankles. Back on Julie's boat, now out of ammo, Julie grabs her taser gun. She fires into the water. The electronic pulse spreads on the surface among the school of flapping fish. Fish eyes explode, guts burst. A few piranha are instantly charged as the arc of power blazes through them. In the hysteria, everyone tries to climb out as best they can by grabbing onto anything outside the water. There's so much blood underneath that even the fish are confused and start attacking each other. Cut to two girls fight to get back on their boat with another vessel losing control, slamming one girl's head and crushing it in between the two crafts. Blood splatters on the other girl who screams in terror. A heavy-breasted girl, the trampoline girl, runs panicking out of the water, tripping out over a floating corpse. She falls in front of the camera in just a few inches of water, enough to become another tasty meal for the piranha. Exterior of Julie's boat at the same time, out of arsenal to fight back, Julie continues to pull victims out of the water, sitting next to the other bloodied, shaking, and shell-shocked kids.
Oh, God. We don't have enough boats.
Her boat's like a refugee craft with its deck totally full and others hanging off the side, clinging to its rails. Exterior floating stage, while Novak sweeps his jet ski near the beach, allowing his human chain to scamper to safety. He then turns back to try and pick up more, one hand firing the shotgun, while Matt, who's also managed to survive so far, jumps off the tilting stage onto a small motorboat. Without even trying to maneuver, he runs people over, slicing them up with his propeller, attracting the piranhas and starting another feeding frenzy, and sending his motorboat right into the path of Novak's jet ski. Novak swerves at the last second, set off balance. He's tipped over right into a gnashing blood cloud, but he throws his weight into the roll as his jet ski rolls under in slow-mo to see the piranha charging right at his face, except his momentum continues the roll a full 180 back up to the surface, and Novak regains control of the jet ski. While behind him, Matt's boat gets stuck after just a few yards. When he checks the engine, Matt finds a girl trapped beneath the boat with her hair tangled in the propeller. She screams as she drowns, her scalp torn from the skull. Matt unmercifully tries to start up the engine without ever attempting to help. When he looks up, Matt's face freezes. A crowd of screaming swimmers heads in his direction, including the frat boy driver and his friends who encountered Julie. But before Matt can react, the crowd is already on the boat like an army of attacking zombies. The boat is too small and the swimmers only manage to turn it upside down. Matt climbs into the overturned hull, his body covered in piranhas. Exterior of Deputy Fallon's boat, the second police boat is close to the beach, which is overwhelmed with fleeting, screaming college kids. Amidst the chaos, Deputy Fallon fires into the water. But the fish are too numerous, and the bullets have too little impact. Deputy Fallon looks around with desperation. Young Deputy Green sits in a corner of the boat, crying, utterly broken. What more can Fallon do? Looking down at the outboard motor, he suddenly gets an idea. In a series of quick actions, he dismounts the engine by unscrewing its brackets, removes his belt, slipping it into the gas tank's handle, slips his arm through the belt, and carries the gas tank under his shoulder. Finally, with both hands free, he grabs the engine and lifts it off the boat. With a determined look on his face, he revs the engine a few times, spinning the propeller outside of the water, and jumps into the knee-high water with his new improvised weapon, a fish chainsaw!
Chew on this, fuckers!
And they do! Holding the motor firmly in his hands, Fallon dips the propeller into the water, tearing the piranhas into a million pieces.
Get to the beach! Hurry! Come on!
Fallon saves many of the victims as the piranha are attracted to the bloody carnage he creates. More and more of the fish surround him, their sheer numbers slowly overtaking him. Now safe on the sand, a young nerdy girl who Fallon just saved witnesses him start to lose the battle. Piranhas come at him from all directions, finally bringing him to his knees. The heroic deputy screams in agony as he disappears beneath the surface. Along the beach, people run out to the water with missing limbs while others try to help the victims and drag bloodied bodies along the sand. It's D-Day all over again! That shouldn't have caught me off guard. Exterior of Julie's boat moments later as Novak meets Julie's eyes from his jet ski now on the beach. Julie surveys the lake in horror. The damage done to the resort now looks like the worst natural disaster.
Fallon, do you copy? Fallon?
Only static. And then...
He's gone, Sheriff. Got him.
She sinks wordlessly to her knees, shaking, as the camera dives under the surface to reveal a wide shot of the underwater battlefield. The shocking vision of dozens of human dead bodies floating or sinking under the destroyed boats. Piranha are swimming from corpse to corpse, reorganizing themselves for the next attack. In the water bug, the WWG boat is at the tiny sand island dock where Jake, Kelly, and Danny are helping Zane and Laura board.
Okay, Jake. I am not taking the fall for this. It was all Zane's idea.
Muted again.
Jake.
I'm going to do a bad thing. Anyway, I paid you $60 to stay put.
How about 40 and we call it even?
How about we're all going home? End of story.
Wait, Kelly's here too? Did I call it or did I call it?
Just get on the boat, you guys.
Yeah, get on the boat. We should have been at goddamn Copper Canyon an hour ago for the motherfucking main event.
Who's he? He seems old and creepy.
He's the one who talks funny, and he's definitely creepy.
Zane glances out in the water where something approaches, submerged, moving fast. Intrigued, he looks over the rail to see a school of fish dart directly under their boat. Andrew starts the engine and puts the boat in reverse. The large vessel slowly pulls away from the sandy shore. Jake descends with the kids and Kelly into the boat. She finds some cold water in the galley and gives it to the thirsty kids.
Kelly, I want you to rest down here and keep Zane and Laura with you. I don't want him anywhere near Derek. He's got to take us home. I won't give him a choice.
Zane moves away, his attention drawn to the glass bottom area. He carefully steps onto it, getting a great underwater view. He looks for fish, but sees nothing but rocks and floating weeds. Suddenly, the boat jerks and stutters. The engine's constant humming falls silent.
What the hell is going on now?
I don't know. We're caught on something.
Well, fucking fix it, Andrew. Fix it!
Jake, Kelly, and Laura all look to the deck, seeing Derek pass. The drinks, drugs, and hot sun have become a toxic, angry mix.
Jake, maybe you should wait on that conversation.
The engine cranks and sputters, but fails to turn over. Zane returns his attention to the transparent bottom when the school of piranhas jet by the glass, scaring him.
What was that?
Zane turns to Laura, who snuck up behind him.
I don't know, I never seen those before!
Excuse me. The water is clear and blue, not a thing in sight. The camera pans, revealing weeds wrapped around the propeller. Sorry, I had a little piranha in my throat. Back on deck, Crystal helps Andrew put on some diving gear as Derek the ugly drunk rants right in his face.
What the hell do I pay you for? You said you knew how to drive a boat. What were you? Looking at the goddamn girls? You look at the girls when I say you can.
I'm sorry, Derek. I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
There's a million other social rejects out there who'd kill to have your fucking job. You want to go back to living in your parents' basement?
Please, Derek. I'll make it up to you. I'm sorry.
Just get us up and running.
Crystal steps back. Andrew's gear is ready. So Derek plants a hand on his chest and pushes him into the water. Cut to Laura and Zane huddling around the glass bottom when Andrew appears. Under the water, Andrew works desperately to unravel the weeds from the propeller. Meanwhile, on deck, Derek slugs from a tequila bottle, surly and slumped at the helm. He watches Danny and Crystal as they stand on opposite sides of the boat and, using oars, attempt to keep it from hitting the protruding rocks nearby.
Hey, bitches, get the sand right up here.
Danny and Crystal trade a suddenly worried look.
I said get him fucking up here.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Jake is now standing at the stairs to the cabin, fully emerges. Derek slugs his tequila again. The sense of a showdown.
I was just sitting here thinking, kid, how this whole fucked up day has been your fault.
He sets the bottle down, unsteadily stands, and approaches.
Won't help me with the new bitch, won't do the things I say, take me way the fuck off course. You're new at this, I know, and I understand that. It's cool, but there's a word for that when you're on a boat. What's the word for that? Oh yeah, it's mutiny.
Nah, Derek. Nah, Derek. Relax, man. It's just me going a little wild is all.
Danny and Crystal laugh. That seals it. Derek storms forward. Jake tries to get back up, but Derek grabs him by the throat, marching him backwards towards the stern of the boat.
Hey, Derek! Hey! Hey!
And Derek holds him over the railing, half suspended over the water where neither notices the shadow of fish below.
If anyone should be down there helping, it ought to be you.
In the water, using a knife, Andrew continues hacking through the weeds. He can see the kids waving at him through the glass when suddenly a large mass of fish blocks his view. The piranha! Exterior back on deck where Derek's ready to hurl Jake overboard.
Fix my boat or I drown you myself.
And just as he starts to shove Jake over, they hear screams. Zane and Laura scamper away from the glass bottom in horror at the sight of Andrew being attacked by the piranha. He disappears in a whirlpool of blood, guts, and flop and fish. He struggles to swim up, but the piranha eat through his air hose. Oxygen explodes out of the tank and thrusts his body hard against the glass like a rocket. The glass bottom explodes, sending the two kids diving for the stairs to the deck. Kelly hits her head against the wall, knocking her unconscious. The boat quickly tilts to one side just as Zane and Laura race upwards, and the rushing water immediately cuts off the stairway exit, leaving unconscious Kelly trapped below. At the same time, everyone on the bridge is jolted back. Jake already had a hole in the railing, but the others go sliding, with Derek thrown onto his back, tumbling towards the water. As he slides, he grabs Crystal's leg and pulls her into the water with him. Underwater, Derek sinks like a stone before gathering himself and finding his bearing. He turns around and comes face to face with Crystal as she's attacked by the piranha. Finally, the Crystal versus the piranha. She fights valiantly, but the fish are too numerous. She tries to hold on to Derek, but he claws her face and pushes her away. Crystal's eyes open wide. That's the order of those words. As a big fat piranha comes out of her mouth, stretching her jaw wide open. Terrified, Derek swims to the surface. He grabs the boat's railings and tries to pull himself out when the piranhas attack his legs. Derek screams and hangs over the boat with all his strength. Zane and Laura rush over to help him, but in his panic, Derek grabs Laura's arms, pulling her out over the water. Just as Jake and Danny leap up to grab her legs, Laura's in a human game of tug and war. She screams in total terror.
Let go of her! Derek, let go!
No fucking way! Fuck you,
Jake grabs an oar and bashes Derek across the arms. He lets go, splashing back down. Danny pulls Laura to safety. Then Jake extends the oar again, not giving up on Derek.
The oar! Grab the oar!
Derek does, and Jake manages to haul him back on board. But Danny almost faints when she sees something that Andrew Sherman told me not to read. If you want to find out the exact details, you can fucking Google it.
Donate $200 and I'll DM you what it says.
There we go. Hey, the donation match is still going, people.
Get us to 4K and we'll tell you.
Exclamation point donate. Tiltify, go.
Let's fucking go.
Theo, it is your line.
Oh yeah. What the hell? Those are piranha! Guys, get out of here! Get to the helm!
Meanwhile, as the piranhas finish Crystal, her silicone implants float to the surface. The kids run off, and Derek screams for his life while Danny picks up a second oar, and both she and Jake beat the piranha flapping on the deck, while Derek continues screaming for reasons you'll have to donate $200 to learn.
It hurts. It's really bad. It fucked up.
Yeah, well, you say you don't like it? A scale of 1 to 10?
It's an 11.
Oh, word. Within the school of fish, one of the piranhas swims away from the pack with a precious piece of human flesh in its jaw.
No.
Yep, not going to say what it is.
You could have read the one before.
Oh, so I can... We'll talk off mic.
The piranhas are eating my testicles. They're munching on my testicles.
Well, you still have to donate $200 to learn the new one.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Now we just lost $200.
No, we gotta do the new one.
Yeah. It would be insane if you couldn't say the last thing, but you could say this thing.
Yeah.
And what's this new thing?
Go ahead, Jay.
Get it?
Take it away.
I saw one and assumed the other was nearby. Interior water bug with water rushing in every direction. It sloshes against Kelly's unconscious face, causing her to stir, just in time to see a piranha clacking jaws, zipping right towards her. She leaps up, now standing atop the cabin's couch.
Kelly! Kelly!
I'm down here!
Jake appears at the top of the steps, about to descend, when he looks into the swirling water, where hundreds of ravenous piranha are finishing what's left of Andrew's body, circling in the bloody water, waiting for their chance to chow down. Impossible to go further. Jake can't believe his own eyes. Kelly's trapped!
Hey, Jake, let's just please call Mom, okay?
Exterior of Julie's boat, laden with wounded college kids. The patrol boat navigates the remnants of the battle-torn lake. Some boats are on fire, while others are overturned. Half-eaten corpses litter the water. There's nothing more Julie and Novak can do. A grisly pall in the air. Silence, broken by the chirp of Julie's cell phone.
Sheriff here.
Mom! I'm so sorry. I screwed up. We're on the lake and...
What? Where are Zane and Laura?
They're with me on a boat.
This fucking kid. Oh god, okay, whatever you do, just stay out of the water.
You don't understand, Mom. Our boat is sinking.
What? Where are you?
We're right off of Sand Island, and Mom, there's fish in the lake who are attacking. I swear to you, it's like
They're piranha, I know. We'll be right there. You keep them safe.
He hangs up, realizes her whole body is trembling.
What's happening?
My kids are on the lake. On a sinking boat. Sand Island. God, it'll take us too long.
We gotta get all these wounded to town, Sheriff.
Julie spins, trying to stave off the panic, then spots a ski boat among the floating carnage. Still in pretty good shape.
Just take them. Don't worry about me.
Without hesitating, Julie steps over to the railing and jumps onto the abandoned boat. She leaps from one barge to the next, making her way to the ski boat, and then turns in surprise to see Novak standing there. He's followed her route right behind her.
Not worried at all.
Julie starts the boat instantly. They take off. Interior of the water bug. The water is higher now. Kelly climbs off the couch, clutching shelves and cabinets to reach the galley, where she perches atop the boat's stove unit. There's a ceiling skylight in the room's center where Jake appears, calling down.
Hang on, Kelly! Help is coming!
On the exterior of the lake, the speedboat races towards Sand Island. In the water bug, we crane up above the deck where we see Jake waving an oar above his head, his shirt tied to it. Through Julie's binoculars, Jake's waving the flag in the distance. Novak steers the ski boat full speed ahead.
That's them. Straight ahead.
Ellie's running out of time as blood drips from a cut on her forehead, causing the piranha to grow frenzied beneath her.
Jake, the water's getting higher.
Can you reach the skylight?
It's too small to get through.
Kelly, wait! You're in the kitchen! Can you feed them something? Is there any fish, meat, anything?
It's a stupid idea, Jake.
Kelly, just do it!
It's not a stupid idea. Kelly strains to reach a cabinet, finding boxes of cereal. That's a stupid idea. Bran Flakes, Fruit Loops. She nearly loses her balance, screams, plants a hand on a submerged shelf to keep from falling, and pulls her hand away, already bitten multiple times.
They don't want their fucking breakfast. They want me.
Exterior of the speedboat. The speedboat is almost there. When they're 30 yards away, Julie signals Novak to stop.
We can't go any further. They've drifted into those rocks.
Julie and Novak stand on the side of their boat, watching the water bug as it continues to sink in a field of protruding rocks. She musters her confidence.
We've got to try a rescue anyway.
Julie and Novak search for anything that can help. She finds life jackets, oars, skis. Novak spots a water ski rope.
Do you think it'll reach?
Her face reads fear, but they have to try. Novak pulls the rope out and untangles it on the ground.
Jake, we're going to throw you a rope. Do you hear me? I want you to grab it and secure it to the top level of the boat.
Okay, Mom.
Novak swings the handlebar side of the ski rope above his head until he launches it towards Jake's open arms, but the rope falls short, landing in the water.
Damn it. Try again.
It's too short.
Try using the oar to pull it in.
Jake extends the oar overboard and paddles the rope over to him. The piranha attack the rope.
Get off! Get the fuck away!
The piranha say no. Jake successfully lifts the rope onto the boat.
Good job. Now, Jake, tie it off as high and as tight as you can, okay?
Yeah!
Novak stripped off his shirt and is unbuckling his pants.
What are you doing?
I'm going out there to get them.
No, you're not. It's my kids on that boat.
Julie takes out her walkie-talkie and walks over to the radio attached on the dashboard, flipping channels to match frequency.
I need you here to maneuver this one and keep the line taut. Please, Novak, I'm the lightest. It has to be me.
Julie bravely undresses to lighten her load.
Keep on this frequency. I've got my radio. I'll assess when I get there.
Just get there.
Jake has secured the ski rope to a chrome handrail connected to the boat's roof when suddenly the boat shifts on the rocks where it's marooned, jolting everyone on board. On the ski boat, the outboard engine on the ski boat revs as at the helm, Novak uses the throttle to keep the connecting tow line tight.
Okay.
With her radio belt strapped across her chest, Julie takes hold of the ski rope, swings legs above, and crosses her ankles. Hanging upside down, she slowly slides from the ski boat towards the water bug. She glances to the water where a school of piranhas track her every move. On deck, Jake and Danny scramble, extending hands to help Julie as she finally makes it on board. She signals to Novak. He slows the engines. Zane and Laura rush to hug their mom.
I'm really sorry, Mom. I screwed up so bad.
Yeah, we'll deal with you later. Is this everyone on the boat?
Kelly's stuck down there in the cabin.
Kelly? Our Kelly? From school?
Julie rushes toward the cabin skylight, passing Derek's bloody remains. She grabs an uninflated life raft to cover him.
Jake, keep the kids away.
Are we gonna die? Like that old man?
Then reaches the skylight, seeing Kelly trapped below, still atop the stove with the water rising all around her.
Kelly, stay still. Don't panic. Can you reach the skylight? Can you grab my hand?
It's not big enough. I won't fit through.
Sorry. Hold on. Oh, wait, no, that's Danny's line.
Oh, sorry. What about something to float on? That life raft.
Inflate it and it won't fit through the door. She'll still be trapped when the whole boat sinks.
Kelly screams as water sloshes onto the stove. Piranhas flipping over each other to nip at her feet. She edges higher as Julie finally looks overboard, face grim, voice low.
The only way to her is through the bottom. The rest of you, get back to the rope.
You can't leave her down there.
We have to save the ones we know we can save. I'm sorry, Jake. Once we get across that rope, I'll come back for her.
I'm not leaving, Mom. Not without her.
Jake, Jesus Christ. You can't get to her without getting in the water. And I will not let you do that. We're not giving up, but just get to the rope.
He physically shoves him towards the rope, but he spins out of her grasp, holds his ground.
That was an order.
I won't leave her, Mom. I'm the reason she's here.
Julie stares at him. For the first time in her life, she sees the man she's always hoped her teenager would be.
Guys, the rope line won't hold forever. Whoever's coming better do it now.
Let me get Zane and Laura across, and then I'll be back and we'll do it together.
Without waiting for an answer, she rushes to the edge of the boat where the ski rope is tied, directing Danny.
We'll keep the little ones between us. You go first if you think you can do this.
Better fucking believe it. I don't pole dance for nothing.
Okay.
Weird flex, but okay. Yeah. Danny grips the rope with both hands and swings her legs around it in a lithe, fluid motion. As Julie looks back to Jake.
You have a lot of explaining to do.
Danny pulls and slides herself ahead. Julie grabs Laura, then Zane, securing their hands and feet on the rope.
Okay, gang. It's like at the playground. Hand over hand and you'll be there. Just don't look down. Do you hear me? Hand over hand. You do not look down.
Kids nod, too scared to speak. They start edging their way across. Julie leaves her radio here, grabs the rope herself, and starts after them, but takes a quick glance down, causing her ankle lock to slip as her feet fall, splashing into the water. She yelps as she lifts them back up, kicking off 2 fish.
She look down! Mom, look down!
Mom, do not look down, all right?
Julie manages to get her legs locked again. Whew, close call.
There's more of them coming! From everywhere!
The silhouettes of Danny, Zane, Laura, and Julie are outlined above the surface and progressing on the rope, while in the foreground, dozens of new piranha arrive, alerted by the disturbance Julie caused in the water. On the other side, Novak must increase engine power as the rope bends towards the water. That was very clear. Must increase engine power. On the other side, unnoticed yet, the railing holding the ski rope starts breaking. Not good. Novak turns around, watching Danny almost reaching the ski boat while Zane and Laura are close to the halfway point. And then, the piranhas start jumping out of the water, clacking their teeth, trying to bite them all. Julie lifts herself higher on the rope, freezing. The fish just inches away, and Danny is not so lucky. With each jump, the fish tear a piece of flesh from her back. It's gruesome and terribly painful. Screaming in a panic, Danny's instinct is to try and reverse course.
Keep going forward! Don't stop!
Danny,
Quit fucking around! Keep moving!
That's not the way to
Sorry
go.
for cursing!
You gotta
Mom.
go forward.
Danny!
Really quick, this cat is sitting on my keyboard and has completely made me lose my place. And he is like a piranha, so if I move him, he will bite me. Does anyone know?
no.
Can give me just a line where I can do in the search really quick?
I
can't. Get them off.
Bottom of page 84 on the PDF.
Look up I can't with 2 exclamation marks.
Yep.
Yeah.
All caps.
There we go. There we go. You were of no help to me. Oh, no. Okay. I can't get them off. Someone help me. Oh my god, I'm bleeding.
Shut your eyes and move. Now, move.
The blood draws even more fish directly below her. Struggling to keep moving, her hands slip and the top half of her body falls into the water. With her legs still clinging to the rope, she fights off the fish who attack her face and torso. The kids are petrified, watching Danny fight for her life.
Get up! Get up!
Danny lifts herself out of the water, exposing her disfigured face for just a moment before her legs weaken, letting her fall into the water where she's instantaneously devoured.
Laura, Zane, at me. Look at me. Keep moving. You're almost there.
Smoke starts to billow from Novak's overheating engines as the railing holding the ski rope keeps bending. It's not going to hold forever.
Come on, kids, hurry.
But the trembling kids are petrified, frozen, until they heed their mom's words and finally meet her eyes.
Laura and Zane Forrester, listen to me. When one bites you, it doesn't hurt. You hear me? When one bites you, it doesn't hurt. They can only hurt you as a pack.
The idea seems to snap the kids back to life. They resume their hand over hand for the ski boat. As piranhas leap out, trying to snare them, ripping tiny nibbles of their backs, the kids cry out, but just shut their eyes and keep coming.
That was only one. That was only one of them. Shut your eyes, kids. It's only one.
And they do. Eyes shut, picking up the pace, sure and steady, until they start edging higher as the rope reaches the ski boat. And then they're in Novak's grasp. Zane and Laura are safe. And then just as Julie's about to join them, the railing breaks on the water bug. The ski rope slides away, plunging Julie into the water. The ski rope, still tied to the broken railing, ultimately gets blocked into another part of the boat. The rope stretches again out of the water, but Julie loses her grip and falls into the piranha just as Novak grabs her hand and pulls her right out before they swarm. Zane and Laura clutch their mom with desperate relief.
It's over now. It's over. We're safe.
Novak eases on the engines, and now Julie spins, remembering.
Jake, come on. You have to.
But to her shock, she sees the ski rope now untied from the water bug's broken railing, and now tied around Jake's waist. Jake has purposefully sabotaged the only route across.
Jake, what the absolute fuck are you doing?
You muted.
Theo, this is no time to mute. This is a desperate situation.
It's what you
What are you
said,
doing,
Mom.
dude?
There's only one way in.
The water continues to fill the cabin. Backed up against a wall, Kelly's run out of space. Piranhas jump out, clacking their teeth. Clack, clack! Kelly finds a frying pan and swings it like a tennis racket, repeatedly batting the fish, jumping away. But they're coming back again and again. Jake raises Julie's left behind radio into view.
Guys, can you hear me? I'm gonna get to her through the glass bottom.
Jake, they'll kill you. You can't.
I'm gonna bring this tow rope down with me, and as soon as I have hold of her, you're gonna have to pull us out as fast as possible. You got that? Over?
Got it, kid.
Can you be my new dad?
Sure, kid.
We'll talk about it. But what about the rocks?
Look at that formation there. If I angle the boat further down, I think maybe they could shoot the gap.
But Jake, it'll take you way too long to get to her.
The piranhas want blood. So let's give them some.
Aboard his boat, Jake marches towards the uninflated life raft left covering Derek's corpse.
Kid, listen. These little fuckers can't see. They react to motion. Do you hear me? Motion.
Just as Jake kneels and casts the life raft aside, and Derek's ghastly visage lunges a hand out to clutch Jake by the throat, pale and bloody, eyes wide for his final words.
Wet t-shirt!
And he dies! Jake's heart just skipped a beat, but he recovers. Rewraps the raft around Derek's mangled remains.
Good news. You're about to make a contribution to society.
And he lifts and throws him over the starboard side.
Yeet! Hey, fishies, come and get it!
And then immediately runs for the port side himself, lowering himself into the water, while the water around Derek's recently yeeted corpse foams red and wildly churns on the water bug hull. Careful not to splash the water, Jake swims along the hull.
I didn't say it was the greatest plan.
Then takes a deep breath and disappears beneath the surface. The piranhas continue feeding on Derek. Not far away, Jake descends deeper underwater, feeling his way along the fiberglass hull. When he reaches the opening, he pulls and kicks his way inside, and on his way to Kelly, he notices 2 large propane tanks in the kitchen. Kelly's about to climb down from her perch to enter the water and make a suicidal break for it when Jake bursts out with a deep breath, scaring them half to death.
Jake!
Jake scrambles atop the galley's counter and cupboards with her, manages to find his mom's floating waterproof radio.
Good thing I still have this. Just don't puke on me, okay? Don't puke. That's all I'm asking. We're getting out. Both of us. Does anybody copy?
Jake, where are you?
I'm in.
Kid, we're ready when you are.
Jake spots an emergency kit on a wall behind the waterline, above the waterline.
Wait, 1 second. I might have found something that Kelly somehow didn't find.
What do you mean?
He goes to the emergency kit that Kelly somehow didn't find and tears it open, revealing a set of waterproof flares, which he quickly unwraps.
Jake, what are we waiting for? The piranha are gonna come back.
Don't move. I'll be back in a second.
He dives back down to the propane tanks where he turns the knobs, opening them and releasing large gas bubbles towards the sinking cabin. Jake swiftly resurfaces, just as Kelly notices the intense flow of bubbles coming from underneath the water.
Jake, what is that? It smells like gas.
I mean, listen to me. When I say go, you're gonna take one final breath and we're gonna swim out through the bottom. Then you have got to hang on tight. Hang on to me.
Oh, mama! Jake finds a dish rag from the galley detritus and uses it to tie the waterproof flare to his mom's floating radio.
You're clear to pull us out in 10 seconds, okay? Do you guys copy?
Copy that. 10 seconds on your signal.
On my signal.
He and Kelly lock eyes for perhaps the final time. And emboldened by the stakes, they kiss, fast and urgent.
Here we go! 10!
Jake and Kelly take their final breaths, going under.
9, 8,
Jake and Kelly dive for the bottom. Interior water, the piranhas have finished Derek and instantly leave behind his stack of bones. Jake and Kelly swim by the propane tank, still releasing gas. Julie and Novak keep counting down. Total max tension.
5,
5,
4,
4,
Julie looks at the slack on the ski rope.
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Novak is ready to hit the gas when the engine of the boat stops.
What's happening?
He turns the key back and forth, but the engine doesn't start.
Shit, come on.
Interior of the water bug, more and more bubbles come out of the propane tanks. Whatever space remains out of the water, it's now filling with gas. In the water, Jake and Kelly pull themselves out of the hull. They cling tightly to one another, but the ski rope remains limp. The piranhas approach. Remembering the words Novak shouted to him, Jake puts a finger to her mouth, indicating for Kelly not to move a muscle. Novak's engine still won't start.
Come on, start, damn it.
Cut to the piranhas surrounding Jake and Kelly, who do everything they can to remain still. One piranha swims out of the pack and comes closer to Jake, almost nose to nose. Terrified, he can see the ugly features of the prehistoric fish and its two milky blind eyes. The fish bumps into him a couple times, testing him. Jake knows the slightest move means certain death. Petrified, Kelly is clearly running out of breath. The piranha finally turn back and swim away. Quickly, Jake ignites the flare, which is tied to the floating radio, and releases it back inside the hull. Instantly, the Pax flips back and charge them. Jake spins Kelly away to shield her with his back. The piranhas swarm, jaws gnashing, slashing cuts across Jake's arms and body. Just as the speedboat engine revs, Novak guns the throttle. The rope tightens around Jake, instantly pulling him and Kelly away from the bloody cloud of deadly fish.
Yes! Yes!
Julie leaps up, trying to catch sight of them. Novak looks forward and back as he guides his catch through the rocky lake. Back in the boat, the flare's light moved towards the surface. In the water, Jake and Kelly pass through a series of dangerously sharp rocks. Their bodies twist and turn, flopping around in a blinding sea of bubbles. But beneath the water, they're far from safety. The piranhas give chase. Inside the cabin, the flare reaches the surface, instantly igniting the gas into a fireball explosion. Jake holds Kelly with all her strength as the propane and gasoline tanks explode back, creating a huge underwater shock that spreads through the lake. The energy released by the explosion engulfs the piranhas, killing them on contact. Exterior ski boat. Above the lake, the water bug is on fire. The ski boat stops as Novak turns the vessel around to retrieve Jake and Kelly.
Go get him, Julie.
In a swift maneuver, he swings the boat close. Julie, Zane, and Laura reach overboard to help Jake and Kelly onto the boat. As they cough up water and take deep breaths, that was as close as it gets. Novak helps Jake up. Their first real meeting.
You scared us there for a second, Jake. Glad to have you on board.
Jake takes a second to catch his breath, overwhelmed by emotion.
I'm so sorry, Mom.
For what?
Objectively a lot.
Next year I get a babysitter.
Jake smiles back at her as Kelly takes his hand. They're still shocked and scared, so Jake holds her. He seems far older than the kid we first met. Kelly slowly regains her calm and dares to look overboard. The piranhas are gone. The water is still. Suddenly, a dead piranha pops up to the surface.
Look, Mom! Look over there!
They all stand to see another piranha popping up further away. And another, and another.
They're all dead!
As the camera cranes above the survivors, hundreds of prehistoric piranha blanket the entire surface of the lake like a beautiful Monet painting.
It worked!
You did it, Jake. You extincted an entire species.
Yay!
Yes.
Yeah.
All I always wanted to do. Now I'm a man.
So, Sheriff, I thought dynamite fishing was illegal in these parts.
Well, You know what they say. Rules are made to be broken.
Mom, what the fuck are you talking about?
Jesus.
That's a cop. Seen from underwater, thousands of dead fish are silhouetted by the sun in a surreal vision, inspiring silence and awe. Novak unties the ski rope and goes to the commands. He starts the engine.
Who's ready to head back to shore?
Suddenly, the boat's radio squawks to life.
Sheriff? Sheriff, you there?
Julie grabs the radio, answering with an upbeat tone.
This is Julie. Go ahead.
Interior, police station. Amy stands holding the radio. Mr. Goodman is with her, his kind, grandfatherly face now knitted with deep, great worry.
It's Amy. Mr. Goodman's here. He needs to tell you something.
Put him through.
Intercut, Mr. Goodman grabs the radio from Amy.
Julie, we have a major problem.
I'm staring at least 1,000 dead piranha. I say we're doing pretty good.
You don't understand. The specimen you left with me, it has no mature reproductive organs.
What are you talking about?
The piranhas that killed those divers, the ones you're hunting, they're not fully developed. Gulp. They're the babies.
Julie's smirk drops. She turns to Novak.
Babies? Then where are the parents?
Novak doesn't finish his line. A giant 6-foot monster piranha jumps out of the water and chops Novak in half. Cut to black.
Ends?
Damn.
What kind of bullshit?
Fuck this.
Damn.
And that's
Shit.
3D. Bum bum.
I actually kind of like that as an ending.
I can excuse
The
them,
end.
but I draw the line at killing off Novak.
How dare
Thank
they?
you.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves some snacks.
Andrew has a hand raised in the lobby.
Thank you again for joining us for Moonshot Masterpiece Theater. This has been an unflinching look at the intersection between aquatic life and American sexuality. Join us again next time where we tackle the sequel, Piranha 3 Double D. That one's not a joke. Thank you again to all of our players, everyone that put this on, and to you all for donating. And remember, the movie was free, but you can make a donation in its honor.
If you
Thank
still
you for
want
joining
to.
us, and we will have more coming up.
In memory of Novak.
Please donate in memory of Novak.
In memory of Novak and Derek's censored genitals.
Can I log this on Letterboxd?
Yeah.
No,
Yes. Dory, I'll do it if you do it.